for the Zatopek on Saturday, December 2. It's going to be absolutely enormous here at Lakeside Stadium. So we're on the line, ready to go. We will announce or call the field once they're underway. So they're in the starters' hands at the moment. And as you can see, there is a split start. So our starters marshal taking out the further end of the field for the split start. They'll be running to the outside of the orange cones until they hit the home straight, and then they will be coming across the track. So that'll operate for quite a few of our races today. So if you are in the split start, just make sure that you are running to the outer portion of the cones before crossing over. So 3,000 metres, 7.5 laps here of the Lakeside Stadium. Conditions not too bad, a little bit of breeze blowing, direct sunlight. It's going to be a beautiful sunset here tonight at Lakeside. So looking forward to a big night of action. So welcome also to all of our live stream spectators. Hope they enjoy the night. Remember, Results Hub will have results coming through. They'll have the field lists up already, but then the results will start filtering through the Results Hub, the AV Results Hub, and also the live stream is courtesy of Athletics Exclusive on their YouTube channel and also their Facebook page.
30 seconds to start, Jim.
So 30 seconds now to the start of our first event for season 23-24, and this will be the men's OWL 3,000 metres.
On your marks.
So underway in our first event, and we have 20 starters from South Coast Athletics. We've got Martin Lynch, Eli Adelist is also in the field. From St Kevin's, Dino Imbriano, Nathan Mifsud from Melbourne Uni is here. Also Liam Timms from Melbourne University. From Athletics Essendon, Chase Jardine. From Ballarat YCW we have Samuel Blood and also Benjamin Higginbotham. John Curry from Diamond Valley. Also Mark Doherty, Simon Proctor, Rob Proctor, Alex Brain, Tim Hawkes from Richmond Harriers. From Waverley it is Julian Russell, Glenn Imbriano from Diamond Valley. Then we have Bailey Barrett, Gianluca de Moraes Padovani and Taj Fox from Box Hill. And out front automatically we have got Martin Lynch, also Chase Jardine, Rob Proctor up there early as well. So nice start to this. Probably our top seeds are sitting around that 11:15 mark. So they'll be tracking along about 90 seconds per lap. So unfortunately, technology letting us down already. The infield clock not set off for that race, so we'll be reliant on some of our manual type keepers around on the track. But Proctor now taking the lead here. That's Rob Proctor. He's coming in with one of the top seed times of 11 minutes. So that is slightly quicker than that 90-second schedule. So Proctor leads the way. Then we have Lynch, then Jardine. Next one up there, Alex Brain. Benjamin Higginbotham, then Simon Proctor, Imbriano out to the outside of there of Doherty. Then we have Glenn Imbriano in the Diamond Valley colours. So 5 laps to go. That means they're going through the 1K mark at the moment. And Proctor's still leading the way. Sorry, I didn't get a time check on that. I was just waiting to get the the first aiders through the gate. Apologies for that. But Proctor's still leading. Now, a good little bunch there, which has still got Martin Lynch from South Coast, also Chase Jardine. And a Xavier runner there as well. I think that was Brain. So into the second kilometre now for the whole field. Conditions fairly good down here, trackside. A little bit of a breeze coming probably from the southwest. So they get a nice little bit of protection from the VIS grandstand there as they come around. But into the home straight once again to get 4 laps to go, it is Rob Proctor. So 4 to go for Proctor. Lynch in next position. Then it's Brain. Just dropping back a little bit now is Jardine, and chasing down is Dino Imbriano. Not far behind him is his son Glenn. Then we have Higginbotham, Doherty, Julian Russell coming through, also Nathan Mifsud. Then Simon Proctor. Nice move there from Tim Hawkes. He's got Taj Fox just behind him. Eli Adelist coming through. John Curry next one in. Samuel Blood from Ballarat YCW. And then we'll have Liam Timms from Melbourne University. But up around the water jump will be Rob Proctor coming through. Just a reminder for athletes arriving at the track that you should be coming around to the finish line to check in about half an hour prior to the scheduled start of your event. Check in with Simone and also Aaron. Grab your hip number, which is to go on the right hip. And then you'll be starting over on the far side of the track at the 200 start. So 3 laps to go now for Proctor. We'll try and get a 2K split for him. Brain just getting about a 5 metre gap now on Lynch. So approaching the 2 kilometre mark now for Proctor. So time check, it's going to be right on that 7 minute mark. So about 10:30 pace there for Proctor. So just under the 7 minutes. So he could be, let's see if we can get the young man under the 10:30 mark here, which is a good run in this L race. So Brain, next one through at 7:10. Then Lynch about 7:12. So Curry now coming through, 3 laps, 1.2K to go, John Curry. So we're going to see the first of the lapping here as Proctor comes into the straight. He'll be getting 2 to go. And he will have Timms and also Blood in his sights as he comes around to get 800 metres to go. So nice running here from Proctor. Brain is moving nicely. He's now probably about 45 metres behind. So 2 out. Proctor on that sub 10:30 pace. I think Brain's got a bit of a go here, and he might be starting to pick up on this last kilometre. So he's got 800 out now. Lynch will be next one through, wearing the famous South Coast colours, former colours of the world champion Eleanor Patterson, the high jumper. Dino Imbriano. I think this is season 18 for the Milers Club, and Dino's been here for every one of those 18 seasons. He was actually at Milers Club meet number 1 back in 2005. So Jardine just dropping back a little bit through there. The Waverley runner there is Russell. Doherty just behind Higginbotham at the moment. Then we've got Simon Proctor, Bailey Barrett. He's got 2 to go. So too has Gianluca De Moraes Padavani in the Sandringham Little Athletics colours. So once again, great to see a bit of diversity in this field. So quite a few youngsters and not so youngsters as well. That's the great thing about our first race generally. It's quite a mix. So Proctor coming down to get 1 lap to go, and we will ask all of our runners in this event to finish in lane 3. So Rob, finish in lane 3. You'll see the cones will come out shortly, and we will see a passing move. I told you Brain was looking good. So Alex Brain coming alongside Rob Proctor now. Let's see if, I think Rob's just going to give him a bit of encouragement and say, go on, off you go, young man. And Simon Brain now coming through. So Lynch also 1 lap to go, as we're setting up the cones for a finish in lane 3. So all competitors to finish in lane 3, please, in this 3,000 metre event, as we see Alex Brain in the old Xaverians uniform, or the Xavier College uniform, coming around, 200 out. Proctor about 15 metres behind him now. Lynch now 300 out. So Chase Jardine coming through. Higginbotham not too far behind him. Then we have Hawks. Also Taj Vox, Mark Doherty, Simon Proctor, Bailey Barrett, Gianluca de Moraes, Padovani, I'm loving saying that one. Eli Adelist, he's 1 out as well. So remember, everyone finish out in lane 3. So Alex moving to lane 3, and this will be our first runner here through. Time check, it's going to be right on the 10:30 mark, so just a shade over 10:30, so good running there. Alex Brain taking out the first of our heats, the L heat. Proctor led most of the way until that last lap, but he'll still be happy with that one. Well under the 11 minutes, so good sportsmanship here between the two. First and second place, and taking the bronze in our L race, it's going to be the man from South Coast, and that is Martin Lynch, coming in with an 11:20 seed time, and he's going to be under 11 minutes. So he'll be happy with that one. So good result there from Lynch from South Coast. Next one through, looks like that is Nathan Mifsud from Melbourne Uni. So everyone's coming in well under seed time here at the moment. Imbriano and the battle of the family, and it was Glenn who just overtook Dad on the home straight. As we've got 1 lap to go for Liam Timms and also Samuel Blood. So Hawks through now as well. Came in with an 11:45, and he's well under that. Chase Jardine also finishing nicely there. Mark Doherty through well under the 12-minute mark. Good run there from our youngsters there, Ian Barrett, and also De Moraes, Padovani. Adelist also through. 11:15 was his best. And now we'll see Simon Proctor coming through, finishing in lane 3. So Simon Proctor just over the 12 minutes. So that's 4-minute kilometres. So a couple still on track here. John Curry, a regular here at Milers Club in the Doncaster kit. So John's looking around that 12:30 mark, just under here, I think, for John. So a good run for him. And it will be, nicely under the 12:30 mark for John Curry to round out his 3,000 metres. And then, nice battle at the tail end of the field here. Liam Timms, also Samuel Blood. Not much in it. They've come in with seed times around the 13 minutes, and I reckon Timms is going to be right on that mark as he comes through. 12:50 on the clock now. He's going to break the 13 minutes. Come on, Liam, you can do it. Let's get him under that 13 minutes. That's his seed time, and nicely done. And Samuel Blood, he'll round out the field right on the 13 minutes for him as well. So good running there in the first of our events, the men's L 3,000 metres. So a reminder to everyone as they arrive at the track, please check in under the blue tent next to the Milers Club flag, but don't go too early. You can do that around half an hour before the scheduled start of your event. Grab your hip number. The hip number goes on the right hip. Make sure it's nice and visible. And also make sure your bib numbers and uniform are visible as well. So a big thank you once again to our sponsors on. They will be once again sponsoring our encouragement awards. So we'll be looking at the results tonight and picking out a young, or sorry, not necessarily young, but a male and a female to take home the encouragement awards courtesy of On. And they will be receiving a pair of shoes. So next up is the men's K race, and we will once again announce the field once they are underway. So underway now, the men's K, 3,000 metres, and we do have, I think it will be 18 starters. Scott Lawrence from Old Scotch, also Daniel Clark from South Melbourne. We also have Michael Sue, James Lynn from Williamstown, Rowan Day Mentone. From Richmond, Elliot Wilcox, Michael Thomas from Mornington Peninsula Athletics. From Collingwood Harriers, Paul Viney, Daniel Spiteri from Waverley. Also Noah Bibelet, John Brazel from Old Scotch. From Athletics Essendon, Jude Barrett, Lachlan Anderson, Ballarat YCW. Also, we have from South Melbourne, Anthony Mivan, Charlie Sutherland, Eugene Nemesi, Collingwood Harriers, Stuart Capel and James Atkinson from Waverley. Out front, Jude Barrett comes in, not with one of the fastest seed times, a 10.26, but he's certainly got out to a good lead here. I think Bibelet's sitting in next position at the moment. So, big opening lap here from Jude Barrett. Once again, our infield clock not working. So we'll go by the screen clock, and he's through in, he's on sub 9 minute pace. Wow. Okay, let's see how long this lasts. So Jude Barrett off to a good start here, and just seeing everyone else now settling into pace as they come around to complete their first lap. So it looks like Brazel sitting at the rear of the field with Clark. But Barrett already out to about a 35 metre break. I think Bibelet in next position. And it could be Michael Thomas, I think, from Mornington. As Jude Barrett comes through, and he will have 6 laps to go. So it is Thomas, also up there, Michael Sue. Atkinson up there. So Barrett now out to about 60 metres, so not showing much sign of slowing down here. We'll get the split. He certainly slowed down a bit on lap number 2, but he's going through the 800 metre mark about 2:30. So it's probably an 80-second lap there. But definitely moving along very nicely out the front of this field. Often happens in the early rounds of Milers Club that people still don't really know, especially the youngsters don't really have a fix on their seed times, particularly the 3000. It's not run that often. And often our youngsters put in some sparkling performances early on the season. And don't forget, there will be a junior 3,000 metre here at the Zatopek, the Di Castella for men and the Ondi Eki for women. There'll also be open 3,000 metres. And we're hopefully getting some big names. There's a rumour Cam Myers, the junior sensation, might be running the open 3K here at the Zatopek. So Biblay still holding our next position. Bosco Huang in a next position, then it's Thomas, then Sue. Atkinson coming through next. So Brazil coming through. So they're through the 1 kilometre mark now. So Jude Barrett, he's 1,200 metres in. So he's running about, what was that? That was about an 84-second lap, I believe. So the pace coming off a little bit. We're seeing Huang now sitting there with Biblay in 2nd and 3rd position. So Barrett coming through, 4 laps to go. He's up by about 60 metres still. So Noah Biblay, next position. Bosco Huang, Mad Rabbit Crew. Stuart Capel starting to move through now. Sue going with him, Atkinson sitting there. Also Elliot Wilcox coming through, also James Lynn, then Scotty Lawrence, Paul Viney not too far behind him. They were both members of that record-breaking 4x8 over 60s team with Steve Monaghetti at the tail end of last season. Our Waverley runner there, Daniel Spiteri, just sitting in no man's land. Rowan Day not too far behind him then. Anthony Mivan, Eugene Nemesi in next position. And then from Ballarat YCW, that's Lachlan Anderson. So Barrett coming through. He's got 3 laps to go. So we're going to get not too far away now from that 2 kilometre split. So it's 1.8 kilometres in. Huang now starting to make the moves. Biblay in next position, then a big pack. It looks like the big mover there, Elliot Wilcox in the Richmond uniform. Thomas just to the outside there of Capel. Sue and Atkinson also in that pack. Then Lynn, Lawrence, Viney just sitting off the back of Scott Lawrence there. Spiteri, Day, Mivan, Nemesi. Anderson in next position, then Clark and Brazil. So approaching now the 2 kilometre mark. So 6:40 thereabouts, or just under. So that's right on 10-minute pace for Jude Barrett. He's got a PB of 10:26, so certainly well under that at the moment. So Biblay now crossing the 2 kilometre mark as well. So Huang Still about the same distance behind. As they come through, they'll have 2 laps to go. Probably fairly hard now for them to make up that distance. But Barrett, he's leading. Has led all the way, shot off to a great start. Big opening lap around the 70-second mark. And hasn't looked back since then. But he's got 2 laps to go now, so this is where the pain certainly starts to set in. As we see, Huang, I think, is starting to just reel in the lead a little bit here. Bibelet holding on nicely. Wilcox in next position, then Atkinson, Capel, Thomas to the outside of Capel. Lynn starting to make a bit of a move. Also Sue. Viney's decided he's going to go past Lawrence, and Paul Viney now starting to make a move 800 out. Lawrence, Spiteri, Day. Nemesi just coming alongside Mivan. So 600 out now for Barrett. Huang still trying to surge forward. Bibelet in the same situation here. Then quite a gap back to Wilcox. Atkinson. So 2 to go. As Brazel comes around, the entire field will be on the second last lap. But up the top end of the track, it is it's Jude Barrett coming through. And just a reminder for athletes as they arrive at the track, please check in with Aaron and Simone under the blue tent near the finish line. Grab your hip numbers, and then you'll make your way across to the start line, which is at the 200-metre mark. So Huang chasing. This could be an exciting last lap. Bibelet digging deep as he goes through 400 metres to go. Great run from our more experienced runners here, and that's James Atkinson. But can Barrett hold on to this lead? He's got 300 metres, but that lead is now whittled down to about 15 metres. Barrett hears that and he just lifts a little bit. Huang working hard down that back straight. Will the young man hold on for a gun-to-tape win here? So 200 out. The gap now 10 metres. It was 50 or 60, down to 10. Huang working hard. Bibelet is contending that 3rd position now as we see Atkinson going down the back straight. But Jude Barrett, let's see if we can get the young man in. Huang chasing desperately, but is he going to run out of room here? As we see the young man from Ballarat here, Anderson coming through to get the bell. Also Clark and Brazel. It's going to be on here. So Barrett just lifts again. Huang goes. But it will be Jude Barrett, I think, will come in for a very well-deserved win. Great run, though, from Huang. Really pulled that down. 10.03. Just missed the 10-minute mark, but a big PB there for Huang. Also, a big PB for Bosco Huang. But Barrett, and now we get Bibelet through as well. It's coming in for 10.15, just over that mark there for Bibelet. James Atkinson, not bad for a 50-odd-year-old here. And James Atkinson from Waverley. He'll also be an iconic part of Milers Club over the years. And about 10, under the 10.30 mark there for James, so he'll be happy with that. 3.5-minute pace. Then Thomas through for next position. Wilcox, good run from him. Not far off their seed times. Viney just holding out Scott Lawrence for the battle for the 60-pluses. Then Rowan Day, big finish. Lynn coming through. Then Capel. Sue in next position. Nemesi, we well under the 11-minute mark. So too Mivan and Spiteri. So all runners now on their last laps. So Anderson from Ballarat YCW, great to see the red and white of Ballarat here again at the Lakeside track. And Anderson, he'll stop the clock at 11:20. Then Daniel Clark from South Melbourne, and not too far behind, John Brazel from Old Scotch. And that is our men's K 3,000 metres, taken out by Jude Barrett, just over the 10-minute mark. Now remember, all results will be up on live results. So keep checking the live results. They'll be updated promptly as the results come in. So Results Hub will be operational all night long. So on the line now for our next race. Scheduled to start at 6:31 p.m. So you see the ladies, first of our ladies races. So 5 women's races here tonight. So our E race will be the first one off, starting at 6:31. Once again, we will announce the field. There will be 17 starters in this race, and we'll announce that field once they are underway. So on the line, ready to go. Next event up, it's the E race for the women.
Wait for some timing, so a minute or so.
On your marks.
So underway now, the E race for the women, and we have 17 starters. Alana Sheridan, Lucy Johns from Diamond Valley. Also from Diamond Valley, it's Fleur Owen. Eliza Nelson from Ivanhoe. From Bendigo Uni, Ebony Woodward. Grace Halifax. Also Sadie Bird. From Mornington Peninsula, it is Isabel Matthews. From Sandringham, Grace Partridge. We also have Emily Wetzels, Jemima Lord, Olivia Green, Ruby Lyons from Sandringham, Layla Bruce, Shu Ying Jiang, Megan Hurst from South Melbourne, and from Richmond, Melissa Natasha. And that is our field in the first of our female races. And off to a good start there, Grace Partridge. From Richmond Harriers there, that looks like Melissa Natasha. So nice start here. Our Mornington runner, probably Isabel Matthews. As the field just starts to sort itself out in the early stages of this 7.5 lap event. So opening lap there, 1:23. So it's probably about 10:30 schedule. Our top seeds in this race are around the high 11s. So a good start here to this field. And is Grace Partridge. She comes in with a 12:30 best time. I think Grace is going to run substantially quicker than that tonight. As that lead group of 3 start to set themselves up nicely. So Partridge leading. That's Melissa Natasha. She's got a 12:17. And now making her move and coming through is the Mornington Peninsula runner there. And that is Isabel Matthews. She's got 11:47, so one of the top seeds there, Matthews. So just biding her time a little bit. Ruby Lyons in next position. Also have Emily Wetzels coming through. Also up there, Shu Ying Jiang. Meg Hurst, she's just ahead there of the Diamond Valley runner in Lucy Johns. So now a group of 3 out front. Ruby Lyons on her own. Wetzel's stalking her at the moment, as we see Matthews making a good move down the back straight just to get the pace or keep the pace moving along nicely. As I said, she is one of our fastest seeds in this event. And it is Isabel Matthews leading through the 800 mark, just under 3 minutes. So nice comfortable pace. We'll get a good fix on the field as they come through and go through the start-finish line. That will be 1 kilometre in. So it'll be 5 laps to go. So Matthews leading the way at the moment. Our early leader, Partridge, just settling into second position. Listen, Natasha quite content to just sit there in the slipstream. A little bit of a breeze up the top end, I'm hearing. There's about 70 metres of breeze around that top bend, but the rest of the track is serving up nicely. So through the 1 kilometre mark now, 3:45, right on the knocker. So under the 3:50 mark there for the other girls. So that's about 11:15 pace. So also coming through there, Alana Sheridan. Another one through there, Grace Halifax. Good to see the clutch of the Melbourne Girls Grammar running together there. Fleur Owen also through. Next one in there, Eliza Nelson from Ivanhoe. So spread by about 150 metres across the track now. As the 1.2 kilometre mark, first one there is Isabel Matthews. Melissa Natasha now moving into second position, was sitting behind Partridge, but just decided the pace was probably just slipping a little bit, and she's decided to launch out in pursuit of our leader. So Wetzel's still running nicely, taking through that next little pack. And you can see the Melbourne Girls Grammar so well coached by Jeff Risley, just sitting there, 4 of them together at the moment. Obviously trained together and know each other's pace really well, and those girls just in a line at the moment as we're approaching the halfway, or getting close to the halfway mark. Melissa Natasha's made a very good move there. So Matthew's still setting the pace. Natasha in next position. A little bit of gap then to Partridge. Wetzel's moving nicely. She's just moved ahead of the other Sandringham runner there in Lyons. Then we have our Melbourne Girls Grammar crew. First one of those coming through, Xu Ying Jiang. Also Sheridan. Another one moving through there, Sadie Bird. Then we have Olivia Green from YCW. Next to her, Ebony Woodward from Bendigo Uni. So once again, great to have the regional runners here from Bendigo, also Ballarat and Geelong. So Hurst in next position in the South Melbourne colours. And Eliza Nelson moving really nicely through this field. So Nelson through with 4 to go, so approaching the halfway mark. Majority of the field now as they go past the 1500, which Hurst's doing right now in 6:12. That's indicating about a 12:30 finish here as they go through the halfway point. But well ahead of halfway is our 2 leaders at the moment, Isabel Matthews from Mornington and also Melissa Natasha from the Richmond Harriers. As they come down and they will get 3 laps to go. So, looks like a nice break. Next position still is Partridge. But now we're seeing the young lady from Melbourne Girls Grammar, first of their runners, and that's Xu Ying Jiang. She's starting to move her way through this field. So now Natasha makes the little bit of a move here. So 3 out, so 1,200 metres still to go. Listen to Natasha from Richmond, starting to move her way herself clear of Matthews. Partridge is still hanging on beautifully. Jiang in next position, the Wetzels. Also Bird, Halifax. And that's Jemima Lord in next position. Then we have Lyons, Alana Sheridan, then Woodward. Then we have Layla Bruce. To the outside there, that's Lucy Johns. Meg Hurst got 3 to go. So the far side of the track, and there's been quite a break here, and a nice little surge from Melissa Natasha. She goes through the 2K mark in 7:42. Matthews through about 7:51. So we're seeing quite a turnaround in this race as Melissa Natasha certainly puts the foot down, going well before the 2 kilometre mark, deciding to really surge forward. We saw her early just sitting behind Partridge nicely, biding her time because the pace was pretty good. And now we just see that change of pace and she's automatically put in 40-metre gap over Matthews. So coming down to get 2 laps to go, the Richmond Harrier in the traditional Richmond colours, the yellow and black. So 2 out for her. Matthews still running nicely. Now we're seeing that clutch of the young girls from Melbourne Girls Grammar with Wetzels, Emily Wetzels, also in amongst that pack. That little splash of pink, making her uniform very easy to pick up. So Matthews coming through, she's got 2 to go. Wetzels, then the rest of the girls, including Partridge from Sandringham. But to the outside there, it's Bird. On the inside, we have Halifax. Jiang also up there, and Lord. Woodward just approaching Lions now. So 2 laps out for the majority of the field now, as you see down the back straight. Melissa Natasha, just over 600 metres to go. Alana Sheridan through with 2 to go. Then from the YCW club, it is Olivia Green. Next one up, Fleur Owen. Meg Hurst, 2 out now. It's around the top bend. Second last time there for Melissa Natasha. There's Eliza Nelson. She's coming down also now to get the 2 laps to go. So 2 out for Nelson. As Melissa Natasha, that lead now up to about 70 to 80 metres potentially, as the chasers now come around the top bend. So Natasha, 1 lap to go. Here's the bell. So great running here from our runner from Melbourne University Club. Oh, sorry, the Richmond Harriers Club. And we see, gee, it's all happening in the chase here as Wetzel's the first one to come through to get the bell next. Bird chasing her, then Matthews, then Xiang, Halifax. Also Lord up there. Then we have Partridge coming through, our early leader. So a lot of these girls are on PB time, so let's get behind them as they come through in this final stage of this race, as we see our leader approaching 200 metres to go. So Woodward coming through with Lord, also Johns from Diamond Valley. Into the final section now here for Layla Bruce. Next one will be Alana Sheridan. Green through. Also Owen, 1 lap to go for Meg Hurst. So into the 3rd lane, we're going to see our event leader coming through now. So let's get behind Melissa Natasha. What a run. She's really opened this right up. So great running over that last kilometre. Time check, just over 11:30. So big run. She came in for seed time of 12:17. And what a run there. Unofficially about 11:35. And look at the sprint finish here as we see Wetzel's the next one through. So we're going to get a whole pile of these girls under the 12-minute mark. And I think Wetzel's will take next position. Then it will be, I think, Bird, Zhang to the outside of her, then Halifax, then it was Lord. So some great running there from Jeff's crew out at Melbourne Girls Grammar. Partridge through also right on the 12-minute mark, so too Matthews. So very happy coach there in Jeff Risley, a legend of the Milers Club, big supporter of this club that's been going since 2005. He's won many a race here at Milers Club, and good to see Jeff bring through that next generation. Woodward through from Bendigo, 12:21, so good run from her. That's a PB. Also, very close. I reckon it could have been a PB there also for Lucy Johns. Lions through, PB for Lions as well. And also Layla Bruce through with Olivia Green, who had a seed time of 14 minutes and is well and truly under that. Also Alana Sheridan. Fleur Owens through, that's the best time for her. Meg Owens, she's going to be under the 13-minute mark, so big run from Meg. So Meg Hurst there, sorry. So let's get behind. Final runner across the line here. And it is going to be the young lady from Ivanhoe. She's coming in for seed time of 13 minutes, and it will be Eliza Nelson from Ivanhoe finishing the first of our women's races here, the E-race, in a time of 13:25 unofficial. So next up will be the J race for men. There will be 20 starters.
Oh, here he is. Righto guys, just listen up. So it's a split start. Take a step back off the line, I'll call you up. Obviously the guys in the front half, make sure you don't cross over until the cone's finished. All right, and then finish in lane 3. All right, so that we can record your play finish. Anyone got any questions? Yep, you're good.
So 20 starters, the men's J 3,000 metres. We will announce the field once again when they are underway. Split start here at Lakeside Stadium on the far side of the track. So now in the starters' hands, the men's J 3,000 metres. Yet again, a reminder to all competitors arriving at the track, please report into the blue tent near the finish line to collect your hip numbers.
I'll just wait for the announcer. On your marks.
As we're underway, right on time once again here at Milers Club. And it is the men's J 3000. Dawood Karmas is in 1. Ollie Burt from Ballarat YCW. Jimmy Goulas from Melbourne University. Oliver McLean, also Max Fraser from Melbourne University. Finley Baker. Ned Skinner from Sandringham. From Mentone, Andrew Lego. From Athletics Essendon, Samuel Duncan. Jack Field from Ringwood. We also have Otto Day. From Williamstown, we have Zephan Gols McSweeney. Alexander Rajan from Old Scotch. From Box Hill, Sajan Diol. Corey Lawson, Mentone. From Essendon, Christian Knox. Athletics Essendon's Verbama Gunalan also here. Trent Bowes from the Goldfields Running Club. From Old Zavarians, it's John Charles and Alistair O'Brien from Knox. That is our field in the men's J 3,000 metres. And it looks like it's a young man from Scotch there, out early. And that could be Alexander Rajan. So Andrew Lego sitting there probably in 6th position in the Mentone uniform. And Christian Knox not too far behind him. Jimmy Goulas also up there in the Melbourne Uni uniform, as we see a few little moves happening as they go through the 400 in 74 seconds. So that's a good start for the J race. So not too fast, not too slow, and they are really setting a good tempo out here for the 7.5 laps at Lakeside Stadium. So a few of the youngsters starting to make the moves out front. That could be a Williamstown uniform. That could be Zephan Goldsmith Sweeney coming into the home straight to get 6 laps to go, but tightly bunched here. Another one of the Melbourne Uni runners going to the outside. Knox also the outside. Jack Field running wide as well. And that's Finley Baker taking the lead. Also up there, Ollie Burt from Ballarat YCW. To the outside there, Jack Field. Lego on the inside, Knox not far behind him. Charles tucked in nicely on the rails. Jimmy Goulis the same. Rajan just behind the taller figure of Goulis. So good tempo. This is a really good tempo. You can see how they're now starting to stretch out the line down the back straight. And that means that a little bit of pace has been put on by Baker. As I said, the first lap was a good opening lap for this grade. And we just see how consistent they are. Just dropped a little bit on pace as the way through on that in the second 400. But still, good pace being maintained out front by Finley Baker from Melbourne University. So still the young man from Williamstown sitting in second position. But good tempo out front. Very impressed here by Baker at the moment because he's really stretching the field, making them all work hard behind. And once again, great mix here of the young and the old, experienced and inexperienced as they come through the 1 kilometre. And Baker hits it first in 3:12. Also up there at the moment, Samuel Duncan looking good from Essendon. Trent Bowes from the Goldfields sitting in the black uniform, midfield at the moment. Charles not too far behind him. You can see Alistair O'Brien also in the Knox uniform. But Baker starting to stretch it out here. So 3:12 for the opening K. So that's 9:36 schedule. So around that 9:40 mark is what we might expect. But we'll see if the kickdowns occur. One I'd expect to make the move soon will be Lego from Mentone. And we're just seeing that as he comes through to the outside. Going past Duncan in the Essendon uniform. Breeze just coming up a little bit more at our backs here, coming across the lake. There's Finley Baker. Quite content to just carve out his own pace out front, not panicking at all, just doing it all on his own. The chase bunch there. Giles McSweeney amongst them. And Lego now looming large in that chase pack, just sitting behind a few of the smaller guys, but I think Andrew Lego probably going to ease his way forward, and he is, as they go through 4 laps to go. So Lego, if the boys want to go well, just follow Lego. He knows what he's doing out there, very experienced runner. So this is where the juniors should just tack on, and Trent Bowes, I think, is taking that message as well, as Bowes just eases forward, taking Goulis with him. Knox to the inside, his teammate Duncan just to the outside of him. But Baker now being pursued by Lego. Bowes in pursuit. And now we see Dawood Khamis coming through. So out front, Baker. We're into the 2nd kilometre. Lego, step by step, just edging forward and reducing that gap. Bowes should now just sit there content, just make his own rhythm as Goulis, another one of our more experienced runners. He's got the young Duncan from Essendon just behind him. So lots can happen over the 3,000 metre distance. And we're just seeing this unfolding beautifully here as Baker moves his way forward with Lego in pursuit. So good move by Lego about a lap and a half ago to clear himself away from the pack. And he is now starting to force that pace forward. So 3 to go, 1,200 out. Good run here also from Bowes. Goulis moving nicely. Then Duncan. Then Giles McSweeney. The outside there is the Sandringham runner. And that is Ned Skinner. But now we're seeing Lego just move alongside Baker. This is be good for Baker because he can just tap off the tempo here set by Lego. He knows he's got company, not on his own anymore. Bowes is the one running solo. Goulis now in the same position with Duncan chasing him. But Lego now just takes the lead as they hit the 2 kilometre mark. So 2K, approximately 6:28. So sitting on around that 9:45 pace. I think Lego's going to kick in with a nice last 1 kilometre here, and we might see around that 9:40 or under for Andrew Lego from Mentone to take out the J race. So Baker still running nicely, but starting to ease back there from Lego. Opens up the door for Bose to see another scalp. Goulis moving beautifully as he always does around the top bend here. Duncan in pursuit. And then two of our smaller runners, and that is Skinner and also Goldsmith-Sweeney. So 2 out, Lego. 800 to go. Baker, Bose, Goulis, Duncan, Skinner, then Goldsmith-Sweeney. Then Otto Day, haven't called him the whole way through. Then Charles, Burt, also Rajan up there. See one of the Richmond Harriers moving through as well. But out front, Andrew Lego. Let's see if we can get him under that 9:40 mark. As we see Gunalan and also Lawson coming through. And let's get behind also Dawood Khamis. He's moving well here. And Dawood Khamis will be coming through to get 2 laps to go. But into the home straight now. It is Andrew Lego, and we have had a change in second and third. As you see, Bose overtaking Baker. So it'll be 3 and 4 now for Melbourne University as Goulis in that 4th position. But sound of the bell now for Andrew Lego. 8:25, so he needs a 75 last lap. Come on, Lego, 75 will get you the sub 9:40. Bose in next position, been a very smart race here from Trent Bose. Baker's just got to hang on now. Goulis, then the pack is forming. We have Duncan, Skinner, also Day, Diol in next position, then Charles, Rajan, then we have O'Brien. Jack Field going through. Also Max Fraser. Next one up will be Gunalan, then Lawson, but round the top bend the last time. He might just have a little bit of lapping going on here. Gunalan 1 out, then Lawson 1 out. And Andrew Lego will get Andrew to finish in lane 3. So just coming out, moves out beautifully. That's far enough, Andrew. You can come back in again, into lane 3. So nice run here, Lego. Let's check the time. Let's get him under that 9:40 mark. I think we're going to get there. He's happy. Well done, Lego. Yep, pushes the mower over. 9:38 unofficial. Great run there. Big finish here from Baker. That's impressive. So Baker around the 9:44 mark. Great run also from Bose. That's impressive. So Bose from the Ballarat area, then Duncan, then Day in that all, then Diol, Skinner, Goulis, O'Brien, Charles, also McLean. Ollie Burt, next one through. Then Goldsmith-Sweeney, and lots of our youngsters coming through. Jack Field, 10:15, all those boys running personal best, I think, here this afternoon at Lakeside. And nice finish there. Max Fraser in 10:21. Let's get behind Gunalan as well. So for Obama, Gunalan from Athletics Essendon, he'll be the next one in. So Gunalan through in 10:35 unofficial. Corey Lawson from Mentone would have been impressed by Andrew Lego taking out a win here this afternoon. But Lawson, he's next in. And he'll be around the 10:50 mark here. And a final finisher, Dawood Khamis. Let's get behind Dawood. Nice running here from Dawood. Good to see him here at Milers Club, and hopefully he has a good run out there. So everyone, all the other competitors here to support the young man. So Dawood Khamis rounding out the field. The men's J, 3,000 metres. So off to a great start here. Now Runners Paradise are here at the far end of the track. They are selling the on spikes. So if you want to try out our great sponsors product here, which is On, then go and check out, even if you want to have a bit of a touch and feel of the product as well, see what On is all about. So next up, 7:02 start time, and that will be for our men's I 3,000 metres. So 20 starters lining up on the far side of the track, and we do welcome from the British Milers Club, Cameron Cass, here to Melbourne to see what the Victorian Milers Club is all about.
On your marks.
So underway, the men's I 3,000 metres, 20 starters. Aidan Davies from Athletics Essendon, from South Bendigo, Thomas MacArthur, Jensen Wheeler from Williamstown, from Bendigo Uni, Rory Flanagan, Travis Knox, Western Athletics. We also have Jack Hopkinson, Alex Colbert from South Melbourne, Andrew Muldrick from the Langwarrin Running Club. From Box Hill, Lucas Paminger, Sebastian Rossi, Bendigo Harriers. From Glen Huntley, William Short. From the Albury Athletics Club at Sexter Hill, Joel Imbriano from Diamond Valley. Jesse Nankervis from Ballarat YCW. Also Jesper Bignall. And we do welcome Cameron Cass from BMC here. Also William Davies, Mornington, Luke Matthews, Keyless and Bernards, and Jack Reska. And it looks like it is a young man from Mornington there, William Davies, leading the way at the moment. Looks like another Xavier uniform in next position. And then the taller figure from a Ballarat YCW, that'd be Jesse Nankervis. So top seeds in this race are around the 9:45 mark. And they're through around 70 seconds, so they're tracking sub 9-minute pace at the moment. So off to a fast start here in this men's I 3,000 metres. So Davies from Mornington, he's got a seed time of 9:46.96. So certainly on a much faster schedule than that, but they do settle on this second lap, which is usually the way. So Davies just controlling pace out front. He is one of the fastest seeds in the field. Let's see if they do change that lead around a little bit, just to help each other out. So Davies leading, also up there Reska. Nankervis, big move there from Muldrich from Langwarrin Running Club. Good to see our rec running clubs getting involved at this level of competition. And it is Andrew Muldrich from Langwarrin now leading the way. So two guys from the Mornington Peninsula now out front, the Langwarrin runner and the Mornington Peninsula athlete, as Muldrich is certainly putting it in. You see that taller figure there at Nankervis. Nice move from him. Gee, everyone's doing their little moves just to get up into the action here. They don't want to lose too much distance. You see Aidan Davis from Essendon just about in sixth position there as they go through the 800 in 2:28. So once again, pace just sliding a little bit, probably a 76 or 77 second lap, that one. The breeze just mounting as they come around that top bend there, and it's Muldrich who take that breeze first. So good positioning there from Davies, though. He's just sitting on the rail. Nankervis doing the same. Colbert from South Melbourne also now in the picture. So coming through now to approach the 1 kilometre mark. So we'll learn a lot from this. We'll see what sort of time schedule they are on as Muldrich still leads it. So they're just over the 3-minute mark here. So it's going to be 9.6, 9.7. Oh, sorry, 3.637. So that's indicating around that 9.15 to 9.20. Now, given that the fastest seed's about 9.45, that front pack are absolutely moving. So good times, I think, yet again, early season here, so a lot of improvement from some of these runners, and we're seeing Davies once again forging forward, and he's taking that pack, and there is a pack of 6, 7 out in front. So Davies once again takes his turn out the front after Moldich did such a good break there to get things moving. So they're through now, 3.45 at the 1200. So Imbriano stuck in no man's land a little bit there at the moment. And he's just starting to edge his way forwards. I wouldn't be surprised if Imbriano doesn't join that lead pack fairly soon. Now they're starting to string out. Once again, it's Moldich. So Moldich takes the lead once again, one of our recreational running clubs. Davies also up there. Now we'll try and identify the man in blue, and it is Sebastian Rossi from the... Sorry, it is Cameron Cass, our British Milers Club runner. So it is Cass now leading the way. He did a good move early just to get into that lead pack. Davis is on the rails at the moment, just on the inside there of Davies. Colbert making a little bit of a move now. And he's taking that inside line just behind Nankervis. But out front, Cameron Cass starting to get a bit of a lead here. So he's out by about 5 metres over Davies. I'm not sure if there's much Davies can do. Moldridge still trying to surge forward. Alongside him is Nankervis. Colbert now just being pushed backwards in that pack. But out front, it is our visitor from the UK, Cameron Cass, leading. Be interested to see if Moldridge has got another surge here. That seems to be the way he's running this event here, this 3,000 metres. Sits back, surges, then sits back, surges again, and Nankervis is just going with him for every step of the way. Davies just seems to be tiring a little bit as they come through to get 4 to go. 3 to go, sorry. I think it's 3 to go. So, nice running here from Jesper Bignell as well. Imbriano's in next position. Then we have Dexter Hill. To the outside there, we have William Short from Glen Huntley. But it is our visitor from the UK down the back straight. He's now out by 40 metres. So well-judged race here, Cameron Cass. He'll now be going through the 2 kilometre mark. So 2K in 6:14 thereabouts, maybe 6:15. So still on that 3:07, so about 9:20 pace at the moment. The chase pack, they're through in 6:23. So a lot of PBs coming out of that chase pack. They've just got to keep it together over this last 2.5 laps, the last kilometre. Big bunch now going through the 2K mark in 6:35. So Cass coming through the home straight. He'll be getting 2 laps to go. A lot of excitement in that chase pack though. Jesper Bignell, he's the one who's chasing the chase pack. And we're also now seeing Dexter Hill starting to make his moves. So Cass, 2 out. Now we're seeing the young man in the Xavier College colours. He's the first one to push forward, and that's Jack Reska. Davies still up there. Culbert's on the inside. Davies to the outside of him. Then Moldridge, Nankervis. Then Hill, Bignell. Then we've got Rory Flanagan from Bendigo Uni. Then our man from Western Athletics, that's Travis Knox. But out front, he's now out by 60 metres. So Cameron Cass, probably just not quite in the right race today. Could have been a race or 2 up. As we're seeing Alec Colbert from South Melbourne making his move down the back straight to run into 2nd position. So round the bend, second last time here. Cameron Cass past the water jump. Colbert now leading just ahead of Reska in the chase pack. But I can't see them doing much damage here to Cameron Cass as he comes through 500 metres out. So Cass, Colbert, Reska, Davies. Hill's done a really good move there, the young man from Albury. He's got a best of 9.50. And we're going to see some big, big times as we see Cameron Cass coming through. 1 lap to go. Now we're going to see the young man from Albury, Dexter Hills, really starting to move forward here. Colbert's the one who's made the charge out of the chase pack, but he's got 1 lap to go. Hill in next position. Big, big run from him. Then Resker, Davies. Then we have Flanagan, Moldrich, Nankervis, Bignall, then Knox. Next one through is Short. Then we have Hopkinson. Then Imbriano. Then number 5. So the young man from Williamstown coming through next. That's Jensen Wheeler. But out front, Cameron Cass going around the top bend. Dexter Hill's just gone past Alex Colbert. The race is on there for 2nd and 3rd. Davis running beautifully as well in 4th. But up the top straight now, we're going to see Cameron Cass. Let's get behind him. He's a visitor from the UK. Good to see him here at Lakeside Stadium. And he's going to take home a very healthy win here. Comes in with a seat time of 9:50. And look at the clock. It's 9:15 right now. So big run here. Cameron Cass will take out our 3,000 metres, 9:20 unofficial. As the race is on, and it looks like Alex Colbert and Dexter Hill are going hammer and tong here. And it will be the young man in the South Melbourne colours on the home track here. And Alex Colbert will be next through about 9:33. Then Dexter Hill in next position. Great running from the young man. Davis also a big one. Davies, our early leader. He ran strongly there. Big finish there from Rory Flanagan. Travis Knox now through as well. Then Nankervis, Hopkinson, Short, Moldrich, Bignall, Imbriano. Then we have MacArthur. Also up there, Luke Matthews, Wheeler's through. And finishing off there, Lucas Pamager. So nice bunch field there, but a good win. Cameron Cass from the UK taking out the 3,000 metres. So next up, second of our female races, the D 3,000 metres for our women, 17 starters, and once again we'll announce the field once they're underway. Also a reminder to athletes coming to the track that you do check in over by the finish line under the blue tent. Aaron and Simone doing a wonderful job handing out hip numbers which go on your right hip.
So girls, just listen up. So make sure you're a step back off the line, I'll call you up. Girls in the front.
Don't forget, results will all be updated very quickly on Results Hub, so keep checking in on Results Hub to get the up-to-date results. And we are live streaming. If you're not going to stay at the track, check out Athletics Exclusive because the live stream will be on all the way through till about 9:45 this evening at the conclusion of our program here at Lakeside Stadium. So on the line now, once again, we'll announce our field of 17 once they're underway in the women's D 3,000 metres.
Yeah, she's just a pace runner. On your marks.
So underway, the women's D 3,000 metres. Julie Norney from Box Hill, Alicia Reid from Wellington Athletics, Olivia Higginbotham from Ballarat YCW. From Diamond Valley, we have Grace Robinson. Mila Hopkins is also here. From Mentone, Joanne Pratt. Angela Williams from Wendouree. From Melbourne University, Rosie Walsh. Charlotte O'Brien from Frankston. From Doncaster, Madeline Kearney. Also from Doncaster, Lucy Kearney. From Essendon, Alison Rogers. Yarra Rangers, Katrina Winger. Grace Muller, also Yarra Rangers. Then we have Sky Emery. Sonna Backer from Doncaster. From Ballarat YCW, Lenny Williams. And it is the young lady from Diamond Valley, Grace Robinson, leading the way. Then it is the pair from YCW in Lenny Williams, also Olivia Higginbotham in second and third positions. So Kearney in next position. Looks like we might have a pacemaker, and I reckon that might be Charlotte Wilson in the white cap. So Charlotte Wilson's just sitting there in fifth position. Not sure what the pace instructions are. Might find out from our starters marshal on what the instructions for Charlotte are, but it's a nice pack as they go through towards the 400 metres. So an opening lap here of around this 79 seconds, so about 10-minute pace. So 80 seconds is 10-minute schedule. So nice fast start, the fastest seeds. No one in this field has broken 11 minutes, so they are off to a dazzling start here. Now we see our pacer start to take the lead. So a super quick start there because the pace is going to be going at 87-second laps, which is more in tune with what the capabilities of the ladies in this event. And now we see Charlotte just starting to force the pace out front, or sorry, control the pace out front, because the pace was very fast. 80 seconds early, way too quick for many of these runners, and we might see a little bit of collateral damage. Sonna Backer now moving alongside. Julie Norney, one of our super masters athletes, looking beautiful early on. You can see the taller figure of Ali Rogers also moving nicely just to the outside, going past some of the younger runners, sitting midfield there. But Backer now getting right on to the back of Charlotte Wilson, as we see a few of the younger runners now just starting to drift back a little bit because that opening lap was relatively fast. So Wilson through the 800, 2:45, so that's better. That's an 85-second lap. Backer looking strong. Norney in third position on the track, excluding the pacemaker, as Wilson just has a look around the shoulder because you can probably hear the footsteps just drifting behind a little bit. So Charlotte Wilson pacing nicely, so she was right on target time as they went through on that lap. As I said, probably that opening lap, and you're seeing some of the more experienced runners now starting to come through, and that includes Norney. Williams on the rails as well, Angela Williams, so two absolute champions of our Masters athletics scene in Norney and Williams up there. Ali Rogers also looking really solid out front as well, so she's moving nicely. Madeline Kearney up there, also from the Yarra Rangers Club, Grace Muller to the outside and moving well. Hopkins coming through, Pratt with her, and also Rosie Walsh from Melbourne University. So only about 60 metres separating the entire field at the moment as they go through that 1 kilometre mark. So 1.1 kilometre in now. And all of them well under the 4-minute mark. That's out front, Backer, Norney, Williams, Rogers, Kearney. So the pace are doing a great job now. Right on target there for Charlotte Wilson. So this is what they need, someone just not getting too excited, leading them through and then setting them up for that last kilometre. And it's Sonna Backer, the one who's just making the most of that great pacing from Charlotte Wilson. They're all getting into rhythm now. You can just see that long line starting to form. Great move from Grace Muller to get into that position just behind Rogers. Kearney just behind her. Then we have our early leader from Diamond Valley and Robinson. So watching a few other little moves starting to take place in this mid part of the journey, as it's Angela Williams who now steps into the lead position behind the pacemaker. Sky Emery, that was a good move from her. She's gone to the outside of Charlotte O'Brien. Coming through now, Alicia Reid from Wellington. Then we have Lucy Kearney, Joe Pratt, Hopkins in next position, and then Walsh. So Williams now the only one who's gone with the pacemaker. I wouldn't be surprised if Nornie starts to edge forward soon as well. So two of our more experienced runners out the front of this women's D race at the moment. As it's Angela Williams shown plenty of ticker to go with the pacemaker here. And once again, Wilson right on target as she goes through. So Rogers still good, looking really good behind Backer at the moment. Kearney in next position. O'Brien in next slot there for Frankston. So the chase pack of 4 starting to just ease away now from Kearney. O'Brien and also Alice starting to move their way forward. Winger alongside Robinson at the moment. So 2 good runners here from the Yarra Rangers Club in Muller, who we're seeing now alongside Julie Nornie, and also Winger starting to make her way through the chases as well. But out front, Angela Williams, 3 laps out. Muller's looking very strong. Rogers hanging on beautifully there with Backer. Kearney also in the mix. Now we have Winger starting to pick up a few more scalps, and then Higginbotham from Ballarat YCW in next position, and also Lenny Williams. Reed also coming through with 3 to go. So coming to the 2 kilometre mark, Angela Williams now out with the pacemaker, and Wilson's got her through in 7:06. So that's probably about 10:40 pace potentially. Muller alongside Nornie, and they've now cleared out. We will need the lights on in the facility fairly soon. It is getting pretty dark here over the far side. So Wilson still leading Angela Williams from the Wendouree Club in Ballarat. Muller going the long way because she's running alongside Julie Nornie, not tucking in on the rail as yet. Kearney now to the outside of Backer. Rogers just behind them. On the rails, I think that's O'Brien. Winger just behind her, then Alice, Robinson, Higginbotham. So 2 out now. Now Muller decides to take the rail. Kearney just to the outside of Backer. Alice coming through with Robinson and Higginbotham. Gap then to Lenny Williams. Now the pack's really starting to form behind. Quite a clutch of the young girls coming through, or young ladies coming through now with 2 laps to go. So it's Williams, Hopkins, Pratt, Kearney, Reed, Walsh. But out front, Angela Williams approaching the 600 to go. So coming in with a seed time of 11:15, Williams is going to be well and truly ahead of that, but so too many of the runners in this race, as Muller doing a good job just sitting off the back of Nornie. Very experienced runner in Julie Nornie, in great shape as well. And this is a very mature run from Grace Muller to be running with the likes of Julie Nornie out front. So Backer and Rogers, they're side by side still. Winger's done a good move to get right up into that pack with O'Brien from Frankston. As Angela Williams on her own now, she comes down to hear the sound of the bell. She's up by about 40 metres on Julie Nornie. Grace Muller in 3rd. Rogers now moves forward into 4th position. And the bell starts ringing. Muller now coming alongside Nornie. There could be a little bit of kick down here. So Grace Muller, 1 to go. Rogers, O'Brien, big move from her. Then Backer, Winger, Kearney. Alice starting to hit her straps with when she hears the sound of the bell. Robinson working hard to go with her, then Higginbotham. Should be a nice race from this chase pack. While she was sitting at the rear of the fields, now starting to come through. She's alongside Pratt, Kearney on the rails, Reed to the outside of her, Hopkins and also Williams. But out front, just approaching the 200 to go now. Angela Williams from Wendouree, so just under 200 metres separating our field here. Muller and Norney still locked together, and look at the long striding Rogers. Also Backer showing some of that 800 metre pace of hers. This is going to be a good race over the final 200 as Backer can smell a little bit of blood just in front of her. But around the top bend, and we're seeing Angela Williams. No one's going to get Angela from that position. And Angela Williams, the experienced runner, top-class Australian runner for many years, and Angela Williams still showing us how it's done here. The time, it's going to be at a 10:45 thereabouts. Great running back, and now moving herself into that second position. As I said, that 800 metre speed, you can't counter that. And it will be Angela Williams coming through, and a nice little run here from Angela. It's going to be an unofficial time of 10:47. Sonna Backer, she'll take next position, well under the 11-minute mark. Then Rogers, Norney, Muller, smile on her face there for Grace Muller. O'Brien also smiles as she stops the watch. Alice and Winger, just give that to Alice potentially. Then Kearney, big brave run there from Grace Robinson. 11:30 was her best, and she's come in and absolutely smashed that. Another big run also here from the Ballarat YCW runner in Higginbotham. She also was on 11:30 seed time. So lots of smiles. Kearney through next, and that's Lucy. 11:15 was her time, so just over that. Reed also through, the Wellington runner. She had an 11:26, so that's a new PB for her. And Lenny Williams will round out our field in 11:30 thereabouts. So great racing there in our women's D3000. Good win there to Angela Williams from the Victorian Club. So great to see a big crowd forming here at Milers Club. We've also good to see the pole vaulters. If you want to have a check-in on the action over there, the near side bar looks like it's getting pretty high. That's probably 4 metres plus at the moment. So if you want to check out a little bit of high, pole vault action, we see an up and over and a good clearance there in our pole vault comp. So next up will be our H run for the 3000 for men. And there will be 19 starters. So 19 starters on the far side of the track waiting for the starter to get us going in the men's H 3,000 metres. We'll once again call the field once they are underway.
On your marks.
So underway now, the H 3,000 metres. Cal Britton from Richmond Harriers. Also from Glen Huntly, Chris Winter. Jake Smith is in the field. Cameron Alice, Diamond Valley. Cullen Granger. Oscar Lichter from Athletics Essendon. From Box Hill, Will Leslie. From Mentone, Lachlan Fulton. Also Mentone, Oliver Scott. From Old Zavarians, Liam Stocky. Patrick Nichols from Melbourne University. From Old Scotch, Hugo Stubbs. From South Bendigo, Tyler Finch. Lachlan Higgs. We have from a Box Hill, Will Carson, Jack Malhewish from Melbourne University. Adam Schlicht is also running. Also, our final two competitors from Glen Huntly, Jack Larner and Matthew Bergen from Mentone. So that's our field in the H 3,000 metres. And looks like the Mentone runner there in Bergen is leading the way. So approaching 400 metres now. And they're going through in approximately 69 seconds. So under the 9-minute schedule. For top seeds are around the 9:35 mark or 9:30 mark. So well and truly ahead of that schedule as they go through around a 9-minute pace as they start to settle on lap number 2. So a Mentone 1-2 as they come into the straight to get 6 laps to go. Bergen leads. Also up there, Oliver Scott. South Bendigo runner there is Tyler Finch. But on the inside there, cutting them is Liam Stocky from Old Zavarians. Also running nicely on the rails there, Cullen Granger, one of our independent runners. So pace looking very good from Glen Huntley. I think that's Chris Winter sitting in 4th position. Sorry, he's now in 7th position as they start to settle. So Jack Lana is the one in 5th now. Stocky moving along nicely, but it's our 2 Mentone boys. No real change there as they go through the 800 and 225. So now we're going the other side of the 9-minute mark, probably heading towards 9:15, 9:20 on the pace schedule. So Mentone 1-2. Xavier on the rails at the moment. And that's Stocky. Nicely bunched here. This is good to see. Chris Winter going wide. The South Bendigo runner there in Finch. He's looking nice. And also up there, Jake Smith. He's on the outside of Cullen. Oscar Lichter from Athletics Essendon also in the mix, as to our Box Hill runners. Will Carson being one of those. But only about 30 metres separating the whole field now. So they're through the 1 kilometre mark. And now we're seeing Cullen. Granger leading the way. So Granger leading, that long loping stride of his, now starting to move forward as they go through 1200 and 344. So Granger. Stocky now going to the outside. And starting to move into that 2nd position and chase. Chris Winters still running wide. And Mentone boys still in the mix here. The first of them now being Oliver Scott. Splitting them there, Jake Smith. Finch, the 2 Glen Huntley boys there in Lana and Winters together. Also Cal Britton from Richmond Harriers moving nicely. Just behind him is the 2nd of our Mentone runners there the 3rd of the Mentone runners there in Lachlan Fulton. But good run from Stocky just to edge forward to get on the back of Granger. Good running here from Jake Smith. He's got a 9:44 time. Granger's coming in with a best of 9:38. So the boys at the moment out front, definitely running quicker than that. Stocky sitting in 2nd position. They've now got a gap of perhaps 20 metres. The 2 Mentone boys now locked together again, Bergen and also Scott. And our 2 Glen Huntley runners, Lana and also Winter. Lana going wide this time. Jake Smith still just hogging the rails there. He's in a good position. As Cullen Granger leads the way, 3 laps to go. Stocky in 2nd. Bergen, Scott, Lana, Smith, Winter, Finch, Lichter, then Britton. And next of our, I think that's Will Leslie from Box Hill. Gap then to Fulton. One of the chasers there, also Cameron Ellis from Diamond Valley. But out front, stride for stride. This is good pacing for the 2 young men there. And Cullen Granger hits the 2K mark at 6:11. So we're looking at around a 9:15 here. This will be a massive PB for him. Stocky's just got to hold on. He's coming in for seed time of 9:37, so similar seed times, only a second separating him, and that's about what's separating them now as they come around the bend to get 2 laps to go. A little bit of a kick forward there from the more experienced runner in the pack there. Oh, sorry, the least experienced of the Glen Huntly runners in Lana. As I said, the lights really need to come on strong. As Lana in next position, I think Bergen's back into the mix here as well. Then it's Chris Winter. He's one of the more experienced runners in this pack. Lichter, he's going to the outside now, Smith. Scott, Finch to the outside of him. Then we've got Leslie. Next one through there is Adam Schlicht. Also coming through is Hugo Stubbs. But out front, there has been quite a break here. That gap is getting bigger and bigger between Granger and Stocky, and it's now Lana, the one who can smell a little bit of blood. He's got a 9:32 time, and he's actually one of the fastest seeds in the field. So Jack Lana's now starting to make his moves. Matthew Bergen also still moving nicely. Winter just off the back of him. Leslie's moving through beautifully as well in the Box Hill colours. But out front, he's got a break now of about 30 metres. And now Jack Lana is in second position. He comes in with one of the fastest seed times, and he's starting to build some momentum over this final kilometre. As we see 500 metres out, it is Cullen Granger leading the way. Could be a big, big run from him here tonight. So Brave running out front, made a beautiful move a few laps ago to take the lead and took Stocky with him. And Cullen Granger now faces the bell, and he'll be getting that bell as the time check goes to 8:06. So Lana, the young man from Glen Huntly, he's 8:10, so 4 seconds behind. Stocky in 8:12. Then we have Bergen, Winter, Leslie, then Schlicht. Then it's Lichter. Tyler in next position. Cal Britton going next. But out front, there could be a race on here as Jack Lana certainly is getting that momentum down the back straight. So Granger's done so much of the work out front, but it's young Jack Lana who has really got the momentum as they hit 200 metres to go. So Granger, Lana, this could be close because Lana certainly has the momentum, but will there be a little kick forward from Granger as he gets the young man from Glen Huntly alongside him? Let's get behind both of them. There's been brave running, smart running here from Lana. He's bided his time, but now we're seeing Granger just kick again. He's led most of the way, but I think it's going to be the young man from Glen Huntly, Lana. He looks good as he comes around Cullen Granger, and it will be Glen Huntly win here in this men's H. And Jack Lana, one of our top seeds, he's going to run a massive PB here. So well done, Jack. He is smiling. That's a big run. 9:16 unofficial. Nice, smart run. But gee, Cullen Granger, what a race. 9:21. You don't lose any friends when you do that. Leslie through for third. Then it was Winter, and a pack of them coming through now on the 9:30 mark. So lots and lots of PBs being run here tonight as we see Will Carson coming across. Scott in next position. Then we have Mel Ewish. Fulton through as well. And some big, big runs here tonight in the men's H race. Taken out by Jack Lana in a new personal best of around 9:16. And let's get behind Patrick Nichols from Melbourne Uni as he rounds out the field in under 10 minutes for the completion of our men's H. 3,000. So after a very exciting H race, we now go to the G race. And it looks like there will be 17 starters. So just a reminder, the Dash for Cash races, there's going to be 2 of them this year, 1 male race, 1 female race. Race number 9. So not this race, but the next race will be our first Dash for Cash. The winner of the race will take home $100. So 17 starters lining up the men's G 3,000 metres. We will call the field once they get underway. So wind dropping here now at Lakeside. I think conditions becoming quite favourable. Still a little bit of a southwesterly, I believe. The sun's starting to set now to the back of the VIS. We're going to have a spectacular view over Melbourne City very, very soon. But not really caring about the view will be our men's G 3,000 metres. We'll get them underway there on the line, on the split start, ready to go. So don't forget, check in with Runners Paradise. They've got the on range of running shoes and racing shoes, including spikes, I believe. And you can buy some on shoes while you're here. So lots of big raps about the on spikes. Why not wear them at our next meet on December 21 at Box Hill?
On your marks.
So underway. In this race, we have Alexander Murray, also from South Melbourne, Ashley Humphrey, Jacob Buckle from Bendigo Harriers, from Chilwell, Magnus Woods, from Mentone, Dylan Gillespie, Thomas Lindemann from Old Scotch, from Box Hill, Fabiano Aguard, Thomas Harvey is also racing, Tyler Dirksen from South Melbourne, from Mentone, Riley Sullivan, Mitchell Korosek from Wendouree. We also have Billy Mead, Reece Kane from Williamstown, from Richmond Harriers, Michael Johnson, Ashley Rogers, Ballarat YCW from Wellington, Riley Stewart and Riley Shalito from Ballarat YCW. So out front at the moment, it looks like amongst the Chilwell runners there, we've got the South Melbourne Sandwich, Ash Humphrey out front, Tyler Dirksen in 3, Woods in the middle, and we have our Ballarat YCW runner there, and that would be, so I'll try and pick that one up as they come through. Mitchell Korosek sitting probably midfield at the moment in the Wendouree uniform. He had a fantastic run and win here at the All Schools. So this little guy has one of the biggest hearts that you'll find. So he's sitting there probably about 7th, 8th position at the moment as Humphreys leads the way. Good to see Ash back on the track here in the South Melbourne colours. Woods just happy to sit there at the moment. So a few moves starting to come here. I think that might be Reece Kane coming down the outside. Also Lindemann. Riley Shalito, he's the man sitting in 4th at the moment. Ash Rogers is keen mate going to the outside. And now we're seeing Korosek just moving his way through the field as well as they start. The pace starts to slow a little bit. So Humphreys leading the way. Dirksen starting to drift through to the midfield. Not far behind him is one of our Bendigo runners, and that could be Buckle. So approaching the 800 metre mark. And that's generally the extent of Ash Humphrey's journey. So 2:24 there for Humphreys leading the way still. Now we're seeing a change as Reece Kane takes up the pace. This is what we want to see in these races. A little bit of sharing of pace out front, because we need it nice and consistent. Top seeds in this race are about the 9:20 mark. So I'd expect them to come through here in about 3:05, and I think they'll be quicker than that through the first kilometre. So a lot of pace setting here that's going to set them up for that low 9s. Gee, it would be nice to see some sub-9s out of this group as well. And Magnus Woods definitely, I think, is one of those guys who could probably do it. So really bunched in beautifully here. So 3:03 on the clock. So that's 9:10 finish time. 9:10, 3:03 for the majority of the field, and only 30 metres really separates the field. Only 20 metres separates the majority of the field as Michael Johnson from Richmond starts to edge his way forward and onto the back of the next runner up front from Bendigo. But out front, Woods leading. Korosek now alongside Kane. Lindemann in next position, Shalito in next. Then Rogers, then Humphreys. The Box Hill runner there is Aguard. He's sitting nicely in the midfield. Woods just looks around to his shoulder. He won't see much there because he's going to look straight over the head of Mitchell Korosek. And maybe just waiting for someone to take the lead here, as Woods has done his job there for a few laps now, so is someone else going to take the lead up and try and keep that pace around the 3-minute kilometres. So just looks around again. I think Magnus Woods would love someone to come alongside. Maybe it might be Shalito who takes over. Korosek just content to sit in the clutch position there. Now the pace is slipping dramatically. Someone's got to take it. Someone has to take it. Shalito is the one. You can't all just bunch up there, guys. Come on, share it round. So finally seeing a little bit of movement. The pace probably dropped, I reckon, 5 seconds on that lap. There was just too much horseplay out front. Now they're starting to get the momentum back up again. So the two Ballarat YCW runners, Rogers to the outside, to the inside of him is Shalito. Now we're seeing Lindemann in the white cap make his move. So that was a good move from Thomas Lindemann. Also ran quite well here at the All Schools over the last weekend, over this distance of 3,000 metres. And it's Thomas Lindemann taking out, and I think that will be Shalito going with him. So pace all over the shop at the moment. We just need people to take the lead and actually commit to it. Aguard going wide. Riley Sullivan from Mentone up there. Now it's Aguard's turn. This is good. This is what we want to see. So 1,200 out. Fabiano Aguard. Now Shalito goes past Lindemann. Trying to break through there. I actually can't really pick that one up. Fabiano Aguard, Shalito in next position. Now the race is on, the pace is on as well. As we're seeing a couple of good moves take place here, as Aguard has really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons here as they approach the 2 kilometre mark. So going through now, 2 kilometres in approximately 6:10. So on that 3:05 pace. So they've gone to a 3:07 second K. And Fabiano Aguard is the one who's really put the pace down here and making some of the boys behind him really hurt. So Shalito's still holding second. He's a brave runner. He's got a little bit of work to do, though, to get on back onto the heels of Aguard. But that was a great move by Aguard. Just surged forward and really broke up the pack. Shalito's now just hugging the rail and going for it. So Aguard, 2 out, Shalito. Then we got Alexander Murray. He's looking good. He's just about to come alongside Shalito, Lindemann. Then we have Thomas Harvey in the Richmond kit. Woods is in the middle of the field there. Korosek has a big finish, and I wouldn't be surprised if he really kicks it home beautifully. So Dylan Gillespie coming through now, 2 laps to go. Aguard out by 10. Alexander Murray in second position. Lindemann moves again down the back straight alongside Shalito. Harvey also going with them. Gap is starting to close here. Murray is running a very smart race. He's not surging, he's just upping the tempo slightly and taking Lindemann with him. That gap to Aguard now 5 metres. So Aguard's coming in. He's got a best of 9:23. Murray, he's a 9:20 runner by seed. So out front, Aguard still leading. Lindemann, he makes the next move. Shalito's still in the picture here. Great run also by Korosek. Murray's on the rails there. We've also got Jacob Buckle starting to move his way forward. Now Shalito goes again. Aguard might have done his job here. So Lindemann, Shalito, Buckle one to watch. Also Harvey from in the Richmond strip. He's gone onto the inside there. So Buckle just sitting to the outside. Shalito now moving towards the shoulder of Lindemann, but Lindemann just stretches them. Harvey maybe one to watch. Buckle goes again, and Aguard's back in the picture. I'm loving this. Everyone's having their go. Now Shalito takes the lead. Buckle barges his way forward, 200 metres on, out. It is absolutely on. So Buckle, Shalito in that order, Lindemann on the rails. Now Harvey launches. They're all having a go at this. It's Buckle who's really striding out. Shalito gets those arms pumping is what you need to do. So Shalito, Buckle, it's on here. Time check 9 minutes. Great running here. Let's get behind these two men because they are going hammer and tongs here. But it will be Buckle who'll take it. Another one of the Bendigo runners coming through. 9:09, 9:10. Great running. Fantastic Riley Shalito. Next one, Harvey. Then a big finish there from Riley Stewart. But look at all the times coming through. Sub-9:20s for so much of the field here. Kane coming through. Johnson next position. Then we'll have Dirksen, also Rogers, under the 9:30 mark. Ash Humphrey, our early leader. He'll stop the clock around 9:34. And Dylan Gillespie from Mentone. But what an interesting race that was. Pace went all over the shop in the middle stages, but then they came home like an absolute rocket. Buckle takes it out. Riley Shalito always up there. What a race from him. And that's 3,000 metre racing. It's very, very, very best. Next up, the men's F 3,000 metres event, 9 of 17. This is the Dash for Cash, number 1. The winner of this race will take home $100. Looks like we have got a field of 20. So once again, we'll announce the field once they get underway. So don't forget Runners Paradise here. If you want to try on some ONS, our great sponsor. Now remember, they will also be providing shoes to our encouragement awards. So we'll be looking for big runs, like some of the runs in that last race that are quite eye-popping. And a male and a female will take home a pair of ONS once our committee decide who deserves them for this meet number 1, season 23-24. So the men's F on the line ready to go. We'll announce the field, and it's the Dash for Cash. 100 good reasons to win this one. So in the starter's hands, men's F, 3,000 metres.
On your marks.
So underway now, the men's F, 3,000 metres, the Dash for Cash. We welcome to our track former 800 metre Australian champion and record holder Alex Rowe. We also have Gus Augustine from Chilwell, from Bendigo Uni, Cade Hutchinson from Western Athletics, Kirk Shanahan, Also Thomas Robesco. From Ballarat YCW, David Grigg. From Williamstown, Angus Thomas. AJ Merry from Old Scotch. Also from Williamstown, Jasper Gay. Matthew Christie from Doncaster. From Athletics Essendon, Finley Simons, Andrew Turver Mentone. From Box Hill, James Taranto, Sullivan Meeson from Keolis and Bernards, Alan Vernal, Nunawading. From St Kevin's, Cooper Proven, Glenn Huntley, George Fowler, and from Box Hill, Ross Thomas. So Vernal leading the way at the moment. So Alan Vernal from the Nunawading Club. He's in that first position. Now we see a bit of a change of lead as the Mentone runner moves his way forward. It'll be Andrew Turver as they're approaching the 400 metre mark. So through the first 400, about 72, so 9-minute pace. Not one of these runners have seeded under the 9 minutes. So let's see if we can get them around that mark. We saw around the 9:10 in the previous race, the G race. So I'd say that we could be on cards here. Let's see if we can get them around that 3-minute kilometre pace early on. So 72 seconds per lap will get them the 9 minutes. As Turver set them off nicely here. This is looking good. Could be Thomas, I think, sitting in next position. So Taranto out there. Also in the mix, Gary Stamoulis. Big field and a really bunched field here. And now we see a little bit of a move from the Williamstown runner. That's Jasper Gay. I think that's Jasper Gay. Let's see as they settle in. Could also be Angus Thomas. So moving nicely at the moment. Really got the pace going along very well here. So we'll be looking at about 2:24 at the moment. So just over the 9-minute schedule. 2:27 as they go through the 8. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a big kick down. Stamoulis sitting there in second position at the moment. Once again, we'd probably be looking for a few guys to take the lead and really switch that pace around and keep it nice and consistent around the 72-second laps. So a few guys just jockeying for position and another little move. This is good. This is what we want to see. Nice move there, and that's going to up that, inject a little pace there. And it was Thomas Robesco who did it. Also up there at the moment, Finlay Simons from Athletics Essendon. Just watching for the two VCCL runners there, Tobias Lawrence and Alex Rowe, sitting towards the rear of the field at the moment. But great to have Alex Rowe, such a fantastic runner over the 800 metre distance for so long in Australia. As we see Robesco leading them through. So the pace definitely back on now. So Robesco inserting a little bit of pace into this race now. And remember, there's $100 that's going to be collected by the winner of this event. So $100 on the line for our winner of the F race. So Robesco leading. That was a really nice little charge that he made through down the home straight, coming towards the 1 kilometre mark. So Stamoulis still up there. They're going to be sitting on around that 72-second pace. And now, once again, we have a change, and it is Angus Thomas from Williamstown. So Thomas, yeah, they're just over the 9-minute mark at the moment. Also in the mix there, Cooper Proven. So Robesco sitting behind Angus Thomas. He's got a 9:10 time to his name. Robesco, haven't seen Thomas around for a little while. He's put in a seed time of 9:15. Now we're starting to see a few little splits out there. Cooper Proven sitting in 5th position there. He also had a pretty good all-schools campaign over the last couple of weeks. And Stamoulis just hasn't really moved much. He's just been sitting up there in contention the whole way. And Jerry Stamoulis wearing the Zavarians colours, sitting in 3rd position behind Robesco. Finley Simons, he's got a 9:16. It's very tightly bunched, actually, this whole field. Not much more than 10 seconds separating the whole lot based on the seed times. So out front, it is Angus Thomas still, Rubesco, Stamoulis, Simons, Proven. Then we have Taranto, Vernal. Also up there at the moment is Christie. Also there, Gus Augustine. Coming through now, Andrew Turver. Jasper Gay in next position. So the gap, probably about 80 metres splitting the field now. As Thomas just encourages someone to go past. He's done a lot of the lead now. Simons has been sitting in third position. Now Stamoulis in fourth, Proven in next. And they really want to keep this moving as they approach the 2 kilometre mark. So they're 6 minutes now. So they're going to be going for the 2K in approximately 6:04. Can we see that getting, about a 2:55 to 56 was now needed to get the sub 9 minute performance? Has anyone got the goods here to really deliver that? Taranto might be one of those who can do it. He starts to move his way forward. So Taranto looking dangerous, sitting in 5th position behind Stamoulis. So Thomas, been leading through a few laps. He's looking for someone to take the lead, and it is Rubesco who does it again. Same spot as last time. Thomas Rubesco takes the pace back up again. So Rubesco, Thomas, Taranto, Simons, Proven still there next to Stamoulis. Then it's Ross Thomas from Box Hill. Next position there will be our Bendigo University runner in Hutchison. So out front, it is Rubesco. He's really put the foot down. Thomas still running strongly and looks good down the back straight. Taranto, has he got the goods now to really challenge and go forward? Remember, there's $100 on the line. Simons is the one who starts to sniff that out as well as he goes towards the 600 metre mark now. But still Rubesco leading. Thomas, Simons, Cooper Proven up there. Now it looks like it's Ross Thomas, the other Box Hill runner. He might be the one who's going to make a move. And Hutchison looking quite good also from the Bendigo University. He's in the yellow. But out front, he's got a 10 metre break now as he's 500 metres out. Thomas Rubesco leading the way. This is going to be a very, very interesting last lap. $100 to run for here. Rubesco has a poke around the shoulder. 10 metres back they are, Thomas. 1 lap out. Rubesco up. Thomas in next position. Simons, Proven, Thomas. Then it is Hutchison, Stamoulis. Now coming through is Augustine. Also going up there is the Keelos and Burners runner there in Meeson. But out front, I reckon that lead is extending. There could be 100 big reasons for Thomas Rubesco to take this out. Now the moves are starting to come. Cooper Proven, probably one to watch here. Simon starting to get his move on as well as alongside Thomas. So it is Rubesco out by 10 metres as he's got 200 metres to run, a chase pack of 3, and they're looking good. It's like the peloton chasing down the leader, and I think we're going to see some changes in this last 200. Ross Thomas is the one who's got momentum. Proven also going. Well, Thomas now takes the lead. Rubesco's done. Proven also coming at him, but Ross Thomas, look at that stride as he comes into the home straight. $100 on the line here, and it looks like it might be the man from Box Hill. Ross Thomas, he'll take it out. Big finish here from Simons though. Didn't spot him coming in, but Thomas takes it, salutes the flag. Great on the 9 minute mark there. Great run, Cooper Proven. Rubesco was brave. Hutchison, Taranto, Augustine, Thomas from Williamstown, brave running from him. Meeson, the next one through. Let's look at the time, 9:14, 9:15 there, as we see AJ Merry crossing the line. Alex Rowe through, great run from Alex. Christie, Vernal, also Shanahan. The next one through there was Turver from Mentone. And Jasper Gay will round out our field here. And the dash for cash, taken out by Ross Thomas from Box Hill. But gee, some big runs there. Brave running by Rubesco. Really set that up for everybody. Simon's impressive. Haven't seen much of this young man, but I'll be looking out for him now. They'll have a run from Simons. He's happy with that time. He's very happy. So great running here in the F race. Really set up a great dash for cash. And Ross Simons taking it out. And actually, I didn't check the time, but who really cares? So we think about 8:58.5 there, so Ross Thomas taking that out. So next race up, third of our women's races, the C 3,000 metres for women, scheduled for 8:08. So just holding the start here as we get closer to start time. We don't want to get too far ahead of schedule. It's about 3 minutes ahead. It'll start probably in about a minute's time because we are conscious of our live stream people trying to tune in at the right time to watch their races. So great to see our wonderful officials here at Milers Club doing such a good job. What a smooth and efficient machine this is when we're holding races back for start time on a pretty tight program. So a big thank you to our Victorian officials who help out, and also the Milers Club committee do such a great job in delivering these events once a month from November to March. So just about ready to go now.
Back off the line first. On your marks.
So underway now, the women's C 3,000 metres, and we have Charlie Newman from Box Hill, from Bendigo Uni, Phoebe Lonsdale, Jasmine Hume, Octavia Farfaglia from Williamstown, from Mentone, Freya Brown, Marianne McSweeney also in the field. From Glen Huntly, Georgie Lindsay. Bonnie Burt from Ballarat, YCW. From Glen Huntly, Serena Bryant. From South Melbourne, Alex Harrison. Also from South Melbourne, Lucinda Buckley. Rose Jarvis from Diamond Valley. From Essendon, Molly Bremner. Tess Rhodes from Deakin. Poppy Niverovich, also from Deakin. From Box Hill, Priya Diol. And Sophie Kennefack and Eden Hill from Albury. And Molly Bremner leads the way from Octavia Farfaglia. A lot of the younger girls just getting out there early, and our pacemaker Charlotte Wilson sitting at the back of the pack because they're probably going very quick. So I'm not sure what we'll find out what the pacing schedule is for Charlotte, but I'd say the youngsters have got a rush of blood here, and the poor old pacemaker's now having to start to make her way through the field. Often happens. So Bremner leads it. She's coming in. Let's get the 400 metre split, approximately 72. So on 9-minute pace at the moment. That's why the pacemaker's being left behind, because the vast majority of this field are around the 10:50 pace. Anyway, Charlotte is doing her job. So Bremner comes in with a 10:55 seed time. So 72 for that opening lap. Farfaglia is a 10:45 runner. And we'll just try and sort out, and we're probably seeing some of the more mature runners sitting towards the back of the field at the moment, just watching what goes on here, as we see Bremner coming through towards the 600 metre mark. So Bremner, Farfaglia. Next one there's Jasmine Hume. Then we have Rose Jarvis, also Charlie Newman. Georgie Lindsay in next position, then Diol. Then we've got the experienced bunch. Tess Rhodes sitting just to the outside. Also got one of our Glen Huntly runners up there as well. So Lucinda Buckley sitting at the rear of that sort of main bunch that have come together behind the pacemaker. So now Charlotte just edges forward, and that's where they'll want her to be. So she'll set a nice tempo there, and we've got 7 runners in front of the pacemaker. So let's see what happens as they go through now the 800 in 2:36. So that was about an 84 second lap. So the pace definitely coming back. And now what you're going to see is Wilson's group will just start to move through and move forward. So those who showed a little bit of patience early, you'll probably see them over the next kilometre or so, just starting to make their way through the field. But out front, Bremner still leads it. A little bit of a change, as we will see a little bit of damage being done to these young ladies as they start to proceed through this race. They approach the first kilometre. Now remember, they're all running around 10, or their PBs around the 10:40 to 10 or 11 minute mark, and they're going through the first kilometre, and it's going to be right on the 3:20 mark, just about 3:21, so that's just over 10 minutes schedule. So Jasmine Hume now in second position. Now we see Wilson's got Rhodes with her. Phoebe Lonsdale is the Bendigo Uni runner just to the outside. Then that more established pack just starting to make their way through. McSweeney's in there, also the South Melbourne duo of Harrison and Buckley, just behind McSweeney. So Rhodes is sitting nicely. Tess Rhodes, one of our more experienced runners in this grouping. And what was 7 on the previous lap is now only 4 in front of our pacer, Charlotte Wilson. So Jasmine Hume's taken the lead here. She's a 10:57 runner, so this is a big run from Hume. So they're on about 10-minute pace, and Hume's still looking the goods for that sort of pace at the moment. Bremner not too far behind her. So Wilson now, Rhodes right with her, Diol in next position. But Wilson now claiming another one as she just edges past. So Hume and Bremner. Now Charlotte Wilson edging forward, taking Tess Rhodes with her. Rhodes now into third position on the track. So Hume and Bremner now, what was 7 is now 2. So Charlotte Wilson doing an awesome job. Rhodes looking comfortable. Also up there is Farfaglia. Another one moving nicely is Poppy Nivarovic. To the outside there is Bonnie Burt from Ballarat YCW. Once again, great to see so many of the red and white out here this evening at Lakeside. Conditions absolutely sensational down on track. Wind has dropped to nothing, and air temperature absolutely wonderful. So great 3K running conditions here tonight, so no excuses, as Tess Rhodes is the one who's just using this pacemaker beautifully. So Hume, Bremner, then our pacemaker, Charlotte Wilson. Next position, Tess Rhodes. Now a few other moves starting to take place. Nivarovic, I think, still moving along quite nicely as well, as we see the pacemaker now starting to bear down on the 2 younger figures just ahead. So Charlotte Wilson pacing, doing a great job. Remember, she came around on that first 200, she was stone motherless last. But look where she is now, because she's stuck to pace and done an amazing job here. And it is Rhodes who is just making the absolute most of the pacemaker. So Wilson. Hume about to be passed as well. Nivarovic, as I said, this is a big run from Poppy. We've also got Rose Jarvis going nicely now. Buckley starting to move her way through. It's just the outside there. That was the Box Hill runner there in Charlie Newman. So Freya Brown from Mentone, she's coming through now to get 3 laps to go. So we're approaching the 2-kilometre mark. Now the good thing here is those younger runners have now latched on to Charlotte Wilson's pace, and they are not letting that go. So a race in 3 out front as they hit 2 kilometres in 6:53. So Nivarovic on her own at the moment. She's in next position. She was just over the 7-minute mark, so around 10:30 pace for her. And then the big bunch comes through at about 7:07, 7:08. So they're moving nicely into this last kilometre. But out front, Rhodes is leading the race. Our pacemaker, Wilson, in front. Look at the sunset over the city here. This is a beautiful night here at Lakeside for this 3,000-metre event, the biggest in Australia this year. And Wilson, Rhodes, in that order. Hume, sitting in beautifully here, Jasmine Hume. Molly Bremner in next position. Niverovic moving beautifully. Then Sophie Kennefack in next position, just behind Bonnie Bird, who's having a big night here. The two South Melbourne girls there in Buckley and Harrison. Harrison on the rails, behind them McSweeney. So all of the field now into this last kilometre. A little bit of a gap forming now between Hume and Bremner. Niverovic doing her own thing and moving nicely down the back straight. Burt, Kennefack, they're looking good, working together. Then some of the more experienced runners starting to come through, and that includes Buckley. So 600 metres out now. So Wilson, Tess Rose just sticking like glue here as Wilson pulls off the track. Now the race is really on because Jasmine Hume has not been dropped. Bit of a gap back to Bremner, and then it is Niverovic moving along nicely. Burt, next position. Kennefack. It looks like it might be McSweeney making her way through. As Tess Rhodes, here's the bell. Jasmine Hume, this is going to be a big run just over the 9-minute mark. Also, Bremner going through. Niverovic really, with each step, just getting closer and closer. So now it's right on as we see the young lady from Ballarat, Burt McSweeney, making a move now. Harrison and a teammate go past the young lady there in Eden Hill. Diol in next position. Then we have Serena Bryant, also Georgie Lindsay, a teammate alongside her. But out front, it's Tess Rhodes, out by about 15 metres. Niverovic, as I said, was one to watch because she's really gaining momentum down that back straight and drawing in on Bremner. But out front, Rhodes looked like she was just hurting a bit. She came through with 400 to go. But Tess Rhodes, I think, has done enough here. She'll hold it on. One of the more experienced runners, as I said. So good to see Tess Rhodes back on the track here at Lakeside. And I think we might see a nice win for her here in this C race for the women's 3,000 metres. So let's get behind Tess Rhodes. Very well judged race, stuck with the pacemaker, stuck on pace. And this is what happens when you stick with the pace. You're going to have a nice little win. So Tess Rhodes will take it. Very impressive from Jasmine Hume. 10:57 is her previous best. So Rhodes is going to take it in about 10:24. Hume, then Bremner's back in. We're going to have a pile of them under the 10:30 mark. So Bremner and Niverovic under the 10:30. Now the charge is on. Burt, also Harrison coming home strong. McSweeney to the outside. I'll leave that to the photo. I think Burt, Harrison, McSweeney, and then Lonsdale, Diol. Then it was Jarvis, Buckley, Kennefack, Hill. Then it's Georgie Lindsay, I think. So, yep. Serena Bryant. Also Farfaglia. Charlie Newman and Freya Brown in that order. But good win there, Tess Rhodes, taking out the C run. So next up, the men's E 3,000 metres, and there will be 19 starters. Scheduled start time 8:22.
On your marks.
So underway, the E3000 metres and the conditions here trackside, absolutely sensational. So we're going to see the first of our sub-9s here, I'm sure of that, because the conditions are smick. Let's announce our field. He won the Victorian All Schools here not so long ago. We have from Shepparton Athletics, Kazadi Kadima. Joshua Hawkes from Wendouree also in the field, alongside from Box Hill, Joshua Carlin. Mitch Waring also lining up. From Chilwell, Jack Ellis, Eddie Fransky from Albury, James Hatton from Glen Huntley, Oscar O'Connor representing Doncaster, Jackson Wright, Western Athletics. From Sandringham, James Fallon. From Albury, Caleb Gilbert. And it looks like Caleb is leading the way early on. From Mornington, Joel Davies, Will Beaudoux from South Melbourne. From Mentone, Dylan Edwards. From Mansfield, Baden Westerweller, Thomas Langdon, Ivanhoe, Jackson Eden, Bendigo Harriers. From Williamstown, Isaac Sontag and Michael Ride from the VCCL. So seed times here, they're all between 9:03 and 9:10. So it's a nice compact field. And here's Caleb Gilbert taking through the first lap in 69 seconds. About exactly what they need for this field. Just slightly ahead of that 72-second 9-minute schedule, but not too far. So Gilbert now being joined out front. Looks like that's going to be a Mentone uniform. And we'll try and spot that as they come down. It's either Mentone or St Kevin's. So definitely Mentone uniform as they're coming down. Really nice bunch here. You can see Kadima to the outside there in the Shepparton uniform. Mitch Waring also up to play early. And it's Dylan Edwards leading the way. Tucked in nicely also at the moment, Joel Davies from from Mornington Peninsula. So this is great moving. Only the 10-15 metres separating the entire field. So let's see if these guys can actually work together and really drive that pace. 69 opening lap, perfect pacing there from Gilbert to get them going. Everyone's benefiting from that at the moment. You can see the South Melbourne colours of Beaudoux. He's sitting probably back off that lead pack, just sitting behind Hawkes from Wendouree. So approaching the 200 metres now, Kadima taking the lead, 2:21. Still on target here, so that was a nice little lap. That was about a 72, so right on schedule. So Kadima, he's now leading it. As I said, great win in the All Schools 3,000 metres, and he's quite a talent, this young man from Shepparton. So Kazadi Kadima leading the way as they come in to approach the 1 kilometre mark. So Edwards, he's got a 9:03 PB, one of the top seeds. He's sitting in second position. He's one to watch. Waring on the comeback trail, sitting comfortably there as they stop the clock at the 1K mark. 2:57. This is absolutely ideal. Baden Westerweller also now starting to move forward. He ran a great Melbourne Marathon only a few weeks ago, finishing on the MCG. Davey's still moving nicely there. I like what I'm seeing from Jack Ellis at the moment too. He's positioned beautifully just behind Westerweller. But it is Kazadi Kadima leading the way. Let's see if they can get a little bit of a move in pace here and get some change out the front as they approach the 1,200 metre mark. So still Kadima leading. Gilbert back in the picture. Hawkes on the rails at the moment. Edwards just behind him. Josh Carlin, big run from him also at All Schools. Another big talented runner there from the Box Hill Club. And Carlin just sitting nicely on the rails in that bunch. Waring just to the outside of him. Westerwell to the outside there. Also in the mix now, Oscar O'Connor. Jackson Eden, one of the Bendigo runners. He's got Beaudoux just behind him. And also from Sandringham, that's Fallon. But no change out front. We've got to be careful the pace doesn't drop too much here. Let's see if someone else wants to take the initiative out and lead this very talented bunch through. We want to see some sub-9s here. I want to see a lot of sub-9s here. So Gilbert now alongside Kadima. 4:45 through the metric mile. Hawks running a really good race, just sitting on the rails the whole way through here. He's got a 906 to his name. He'd love to get an 8 as that front digit. And I reckon that quite a lot of this group can do that tonight. The conditions are absolutely perfect. The pacing's great. As you see, Jack Ellis just sitting to the outside there, right behind Hawks, as Kadima just takes control of the inside lane. Got Gilbert to his outside. Hawks even further out. Waring in the clutch position there. Davies still going nicely. Langdon in good position with Westerwella there also. Beaujus. Then we have Hatton coming from behind there. Also with him is Jackson Wright. Nice run here from Fransky and also Isaac Sontag from Williamstown. But out front, there has been a change. I like what I'm seeing from Hawks here as well. Every move that's being thrown forward, he's moving with it. And Gilbert takes the lead once again as they approach the 2 kilometre mark. They're going to be under that 6 minutes. That's what we want. We're going to launch them into a sub 9 minutes here. 5:57 on the clock as they go through 2. So Gilbert doing the pace again. Hawks, the beneficiary of that pacing. He's just sitting beautifully there. Just watching out for where Langdon positions himself as well. So O'Connor sitting at the rear end of that pack at the moment. Also up there, Edwards. You can see Langdon just sitting to the outside a bit. Kadima now starting to drift back through. Come on, Kadima, you can do this. So Gilbert, Hawks, Waring still in the mix. Carlin up there. Jack Ellis said he was running a ripper of a race. Now we're seeing Langdon start to take some initiative out front. Gap then to Beaujus and Westerwella. But out front, it is still Gilbert. Come on, someone else has got to take this pace. We want to lift forward. Alice in clear 3rd position at the moment. Langdon going wide on Carlin. Davies still right up there. Edwards also in the mix. A little bit of a breakout forward as we see Hawks just sitting on the back of Gilbert there as they approach 600 to go. So that was a 72-second lap. They've really got to pick this up over the last 600 metres. We want to get a few of these boys under that 9-minute mark. So I reckon the top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 possibly have got this in their legs. The others, it might be tough. As we see Kazadi Kadima just drifting back through. Did a lot of the pace early, but now it's the big man from Albury, Caleb Gilbert. We've seen him do this before. He doesn't mind leading a race. And Gilbert pushing forward with Hawks. Alice, Waring, Langdon and Carlin. Davies, Edwards, O'Connor. Hatton the one making a big move here, the Glen Huntley runner. So 7:52 now. We need 67-second laps to get through. Fallon just slipping back a little bit off the pace. Then we have Sontag and also Fransky. But out front, Hawks makes his move. I picked this one. He just sat back beautifully. Carlin, next one to go. Gone alongside and past Alice. Now Davies does the same. Waring still in the mix here. 200 out. Josh Hawks looking sensational. Caleb Gilbert done so much of the work. He's just got to hold and hold and hold to get that sub 9-minute performance. But what a finish here. Josh Hawks from Wendouree. This is going to be a massive PB for him. Let's get him under that 8:35 as he comes in. This is going to smash the 9 minutes. Very impressive run. Joshua Hawks, Wendouree, he'll take this. What a big run from him. Look at the clock, 8:46:47. He's happy. Davies is through. Come on, let him all through. Davies in. Gilbert, Hatton, big run. Alice also under. Also Waring. Edwards under. Langdon. Wow, big running. Ride coming through now. Beaujus on 9:04. Kadima also through now. It was Eden. Fallon coming through, but gee, what a run, Josh Hawks. Let's get behind Fransky and also Sontag. Rounding out our E3000, an entertaining race. Lots of breakthroughs there today. Sensational running, good leading by Kadima, also good leading by Gilbert. But it was Josh Hawks, the one who outsmarted them all for a big, big finish to take out the E3000 metres. So a very exciting race, that one. The men's E3000 as we look across the track. Next one up will be the men's D 3000 metres. And there will be 17 runners. So event 12 of 17 coming up, and that is the men's D 3000 metres. Once again, we'll get them underway. So very exciting E-race. Let's see if the boys in the D race can match that one. So still a little bit of time. We are running a little bit ahead of schedule. So the next race will commence in about 2 minutes' time. We'll reform the line fairly soon. We don't want to go too early because of our live stream. So 8:35, we'll probably get them underway around 8:34, I'd say, 8:33, 8:34. So actually we'll announce this field before we get going. In Station 1 from Eureka, we'll have Jordan Mason, Lucas Scholes-Robertson from Doncaster in 2. Joshua Bale from Athletics Southwest, and I know there'll be a big crowd from around Warrnambool watching this one to see Josh run around 8:50. In 4, we have Julian Baker. In 6, we have Jack Hynam from Glen Huntly. From Old Scotch, Connor Merrigan. From Chilwell, we have Bailey Wilson in 8 and also James Lay in 9. Oscar Gray from Glen Huntly is in 10. From Collingwood Harriers, Max Luke in 11. Rory Vile, Old Scotch in 12. Broden Bond from Ballerine in 13. From Knox, Jack Waters in 14. From Wendouree, Zach Granger in 15. In 18, from Doncaster, Josh Asker. Isaac Mex from Box Hill in 19. And in 20, from Mentone, James Pisa Di Chiero. So under the starters' orders now, the men's D 3000 metres.
On your marks.
So underway now in the D 3000 metres. So top seeds around the 8:55 mark. So I'm expecting some 8:40s, but once again, these young men are going to have to work together to get that time. So as they come across, let's see who wants to take the lead early. Remember, if you lead early, doesn't mean you have to hold the lead. And it will be our Knox runner there in Jack Waters. First one to take it up. Pisa Chiero, I think, going with him, and it is. Also up there early, Maxi Luke from Collingwood Harriers, sitting on the rails. Vile might be in next position there. So they need a good steady pace. So Jack Waters is the one who's leading them out here. We'd hope to be about a 69, 70-second lap to really get them going. And this is actually a nice start. So good running from Waters. You can see him just running nice and smoothly. Luke just sitting in next position. I think it might be Vile in next position, then Pisa Di Chiero. So going through approximately 69, spot on where they need to be. Exactly the same as that last race. So they're certainly setting themselves up nicely here for the sub-9 campaign. Some of these runners have not broken that barrier before. So Waters leading the way. Let's see if he has a little bit of help out front there. As we see one of our Box Hill runners just scooting round to the outside. So two of the Scotch boys prominent early. So Merrigan might be one of those, also Rory Vile. And now it's Bale just getting into a bit of trouble there. This is what happens when the pace slows down a little bit. And it is Oscar Gray who's deciding he's going to push forward and try, yep, bit more pushing and shoving as you see that the pace just dropping a little bit. And this is what happens as they start to concertina into each other because the pace is slowing. So if that happens, boys, someone else takes the pace up. Simple as that. So moving nicely down the back straight now. Approaching the 800 metres. Pace has gone off, and that's what happens. They start to run into each other. That was the 73-second lap. So we need someone to take up the pace. We want to get really moving on this one, establish a good opening kilometre. I think at the moment they're going to be slipping through probably around the 257, 258. So it was Oscar Gray, did a nice move to get himself out of trouble and up forward. It might be Asker now starting to make a bit of a move down the outside as well. So Waters has led the first kilometre, so someone else has got to really push forward soon. So they're going through in 58. Bale up there. Pisa de Giro now on the rails. Julian Baker sitting at the rear of the field, but there's no more than 15 metres separating the whole field. So Waters has led all the way. Is someone else going to take and help him out? And I think we're going to see a little bit of a move now, and it could be the young man, Gray from Glen Huntley, just edging forward soon. Maxi Luke's gone to the outside. Really bunched up front there as they hit the 1,200 metres. So no change out front. Everyone's staying in line at the moment. And it looks like Gray's just going to the outside. So we do need someone to really push forward if we want to get that sub-9. It is starting to slip away. So Jack Hynam to the outside, also sitting out there, Conor Merrigan. But unfortunately, it's just starting to slow and slow and slow. Finally, we're seeing some moves. So Gray leading, Luke, Hynam also up there. So 2:58 the opening kilometre. Coming down to get 3 laps to go, 1,200 out. So Bale sitting in about 4th position at the moment. Come on, Josh, you put a lot on this one. You're slipping away from that 850. So Scholes Robinson, he's sitting to the outside there. We're approaching the 2 kilometre mark. So Gray leads, Luke in next position, then Hynam. Bale edging his way forward, Scholes Robinson doing the same. Now we hit the 2 kilometre mark. So 59, so it's a 3:01 second kilometre. Hynam looking good. Luke been up there the whole way. So we're right on the 9-minute mark, but this could potentially be a slower race than the one before. So Gray's done a good job of getting this pace moving. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Scholes Robinson as well. He's positioned himself nicely to the outer lane there. Bale tucked in on the rails. Max Luke also there. Hynam's been strong. We're also seeing Ascar starting to make his way forward. Also up there, James Lay, the young man from Chilwell. Bailey Wilson from Chilwell also in the mix and making a good move too as they go into the latter stage of this race. But out front, Gray, Luke, Bale, Hynam, Scholes Robertson. I think Asker in next position there. And then it's either Wilson, I think that's Wilson in next slot, then Lay. So the two Chilwell boys going along nicely. So still sitting just under that 9-minute schedule. I think we're going to see a massive last lap as they come through to hear the bell. So the lap board goes to 1. There are still 8, 9, 10 potentially in this race. This will be the closest finish we see. Won't be the fastest of races, but we are going to see one hell of a kick down here when they hear that bell. Bale now edging out forward. Scholes Robinson to the outside of him. Gray on the inside and getting checked. Luke also there. Ascar in the mix as well. And Hynam to the outside. But Bale's the one who takes the initiative early. Scholes Robinson going with him. Luke's still in there, but there's signs of pain on Luke's face as they went through the bell. But up front, it is Josh Bale from Southwest. The crowd in Warrnambool is going to be going crazy, but now Max Luke decides he wants to ruin that party. So Luke moving beautifully. Scholes Robinson got those long limbs really moving. Now Hynam's back into it again, past his teammate there in Gray. And then we have Wilson from Chilwell. But out front, it's Luke and also Bale. Bale looking strong. Maybe he can hold off this challenge here as Luke just tries everything he can to get that momentum round the top bend. Scholes Robinson, has he got the goods in the last 100? Let's find out. But Bale's going to lead them into the stretch. Goes wide and takes them all wide with him. Luke on the inside. This is going to be a massive finish. 8:40 on the clock. They're going to be around that 8:50 mark. Josh Bale looks like he's got it. The crowd in Warrnambool will be happy. 8:47 unofficial, maybe 48. Luke Scholes Robinson, great run there. Also from Bond from Ballerine. But geez, some big times there. I was having to go at them early, but they kicked home beautifully. And a massive win there for Bale. He's pumped. Good running there, Josh Bale, but also Maxi Luke, another big one from him. So some great running there. In the men's D, 3,000 metres taken out by Bale. Unofficially about the 8:48, but remember, you can check all the times on Results Hub. So once again, big shout out to Runners Paradise who are here with some On product. If you want to try on the On spikes, everyone's raving about them at the moment. The hottest items in town. So Runners Paradise here with the On range of shoes. So go and have a chat to them. They're at the finish line. Also a big thank you once again to our Victorian officials and also the Milers Club committee for putting on a spectacular night. And boy, look at that bar in the pole vault. That's going very high. Once again, there will be pole vault at the Zatopek as well. There will be teams, I think 5 men, 5 women will form teams. They'll be over on the far side of the track, so right up and close and personal with the spectators. So the Zatopek, the Steve Hooker Pole Vault Challenge will be on that program Saturday, the 2nd of December. Now remember, there is also going to be a community run starting at 4 o'clock if you want to do the 5K that starts and finishes on the Blue track here and leads into the Zatopek program, which will commence at about 5:30 p.m. So the men's C, 3,000 metres on the line. about ready to go. I'll call the field. Box Hills, Durham Diols in 1. From Wendouree, Darcy Williams in 2. From Athletics Essendon, James Cruz in 3. Eureka's Charles Chandler's in 4. In 5, we have Angus McAfee from Bendigo Uni. From Box Hill, Darcy Pound in 6. Tom Winkle is in 7. Jamie Blackburn from Ivanhoe in 8. Caleb Laker from Glen Huntly in 9. Ben Mornay and Eureka at 10. Bradley Hall Knox in 11. In 12 from Ivanhoe, David Gregg. Then in Claxton, Glen Huntly in 13. In 15 from Old Scotch, we have Nathan Munro. Ben Ludbrook from Eureka in 16. Alec Francie Albury in 17. And in 19, Connor Sullivan from Old Scotch.
On your marks.
So underway, the C race. Top seeds here are in the low 840s, around 842. We'll be looking at guys like Ben Mornay from Eureka. Also his teammate Ludbrook from Eureka. He's got an 844. And we've got Fransky going out hard and fast early, the young man from Albury. He's got an 851. So they're just starting to settle a little bit now, and Caleb Lake is the one in the cap who decides he's going to force the pace, which is good to see. So 34, 35, so a few guys just having a look around, trying to work out where they want to be early, but Lake has actually got them to a good start. Darcy Pound just sitting off the back of him. Looks like Fransky in next position. I think that might be Cruz potentially. He's got an 843. He's sitting in 4th. And then our Scotch runner there in, I think that might be Munro sitting next position. So good opening lap here, and Laker certainly going out to prove something here, I think. So 66, 67. So this is good. This is a really spot-on first lap for this level of athlete. So Laker doing the work early. They're starting to really bridge that gap now and start to move in behind him. This is what we need to see. So Darcy Pound more familiar over the 8s and 15s, stepping up to the 3K early here for Darce. Good to see. This will test the engine on him. But Fransky, we know he likes to go out hard and fast. We're seeing some of the more established runners just sitting back early. Chandler in the, I think there's 3 Eureka runners. Chandler's the first of those. He's up there early. Also it is Munro. Diol sitting really mid-pack there. David Gregg back at the back of the field there with Mornay. But a lot is going to happen in this race, I reckon. And you also see Jamie Blackburn from Ivanhoe sitting back of the field at the moment too. But Laker's still leading it through. Pound quite content to sit there. Fransky sitting in 4th. Munro just behind him. So through the 8, approximately 217. So just pace dropping slightly, but it's still good. So 217 through the 800. It's going to be a nice opening first kilometre here. Caleb Laker doing the majority of the work out front, or doing all the work out front, sorry. So Laker leads it. Pound, not going to make any moves at the moment because the pace is decent. Chandler in the white shorts, definitely a bit of a change from his pink shorts that he has been wearing of late, but he's gone quite wide there. Also nice wide move there. We'll try and pick up who that is. That's Tom Winkle, and Winkle just moved. I think he might be from Tassie with the Northwest Athletic Club uniform on there. So Munro's still sitting nicely there. He's got Winkle to the outside. Fransky still sitting in 4th position there. Sorry, I missed that split. So Laker's still leading. Cruz in next position. 8:43 to his name, so this guy can run. Town just easing back a little bit. Fransky to the side of him. Now seeing the second of our Glen Huntley runners there, and then Stenyon Claxton just going to the outside, not too far behind Chandler. So Cruz sitting behind Laker perfectly. 4 laps to go, 4:04. So approaching the halfway mark. So let's get a halfway split. I missed the first kilometre, so let's get a halfway split on, and that's going to give us a good indication. So 8:40 pace. Probably exactly where we thought they'd be, right on 8:40 pace. Laker still doing a great job. They are lining up behind, though, to take some scalps here, I think. This is a beautifully paced race, courtesy of Caleb Laker. Cruz just sitting nicely there. Fransky still strong. Chandler to the outside of him. Winkle once again making a little bit of a move there, I believe. I'll try and identify him as they come into the daylight in the home straight. He's now taking up a good position on the rails. Chandler still running relatively wide. Mornane sitting at the back of the pack. Laker, so strong out front. This pace has not wavered. Gregg's now started to make his move in the Ivanhoe colours. Ludbrook sitting midfield as well. Brad Hall also in there. Claxton moving up. Munro easing back. Connor Sullivan in next position. So approaching the 2 kilometre mark now. Let's see if we can get them in the 5:40s. So 5:40 on the clock now. So 2 kilometres in. Time check. 5:47. So the pace still good. Laker still leading. He's led from the gun. Fransky still sitting in 3rd position. Cruz, this is impressive. He knows he doesn't have to do anything in that position because the pace is still decent. Chandler, impressive here this evening at Lakeside. Brad Hall still in the mix. Now we're seeing Ludbrook starting to move forward. Now there's a few little moves starting to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a change in lead. And it looks like a few of the boys starting to push forward, and that includes Winkle, also Hall. Someone's got to take it. Someone has to take it or else they're going to run into each other. Doesn't hurt to lead. So Laker still out there. Chandler's the first one to make a bit of a move, and down the back straight, Charles Chandler in the white shorts. Laker won't give up any ground here though on that inside lane. He wants to be holding that position as they hit the bend. He's going to do just that. 600 out. Laker still leads. Cruz now the one who's going to make another move. Hall also in the mix in 4th position. So many times it looks like someone's tried to challenge Laker, but he won't let them pass. So Caleb Laker comes in, 500 metres to go at 7:15. Chandler to the outside, Hall going further outside. Mornane's now in the picture, Claxton up there as well. On the inside, Cruz still in that position. Winkle sitting midfield, mid-pack. Ludbrook still in the mix. Fransky still up there. Now Brad Hall is the first one to take the lead from Laker. Big move there from Hall. It's amazing what the sound of that bell can do to somebody. So it is Hall, Laker, Chandler, also Mornane in that order. Winkle, I think, in next. No, that's not Winkle. I'll try and identify them as they come round. But now Cruz in the next position, then Winkle, then Claxton. Ludbrook just starting to ease back. Fransky going past him. But out front, Brad Hall. Boy, he's put the foot down. 200 out. Brad Hall, 8:03 at 200 to go. This is going to be a sub 8:40. So Hall, he's going to have a great race here tonight. So Brad Hall, he's got an 8:42.60 seed time. He's going to be well under that as he comes into the home straight the last time. So 8:18 on the clock now. Brad Hall, let's get behind this young man. What a big run that was. Caleb Laker easing back through the field, but what a race he's set up for these young men. And Brad Hall's going to take the honours here, just over the 8:30 mark. 8:32 unofficial. Chandler, big run from him as well. 8:35. Mornane. Also Winkle up there as well. That was Darcy Williams. Claxton, big run from Cruz. Sullivan through. Caleb Laker, well done to you. That was awesome leading. Darcy Pound, gee, the 3K hurts, doesn't it, Darce? Darren D-Hole through. Also, next one in will be Angus McAfee. Then we have Nathan Munro, David Gregg through just over the 9-minute mark, and his teammate from Ivanhoe, Jamie Blackburn, will round out our field in the C. 3,000 metres, big win there. Brad Hall. So next up, another dash for cash. It will be our women's B 3,000 metres, and once again it is a dash for cash. $100 going to our winner. Charlotte Wilson will be setting the pace once again. Our field in Station 1 from Collingwood Harriers, Michaela Young. In 2 from Sandringham, Olivia DaCosta Alves. Station 3 from Box Hill, Annabelle Smith. In 5 from Ballarat YCW, Olivia Beaton. Alexandria Anthony from Glen Huntly is in 6. From Williamstown, Chloe Phelan in 7. Representing Melbourne University, we have in Station 8, Alexandra Bucky Smith. In 9, from Ballarat YCW, Rose Ashman. Meg Oakley Kerr from St Stephen's in 10. Poppy Scott Dalgleish, Diamond Valley is in 11. Lara Sakana from Athletics Essendon in 12. In 13, from South Melbourne, Sarah Waters. Zoe Woods from Melbourne University is in 14. Emily Mifsud from Athletics Essendon in 15. And in Station 17, from Ballarat YCW, Aria Violini. They are our 15 starters in the Dash for Cash, the Women's B 3,000 metres.
On your mark.
So 15 starters, the Dash for Cash, another $100, courtesy of the Milers Club, going to the winner. Charlotte Wilson pacing this one. We'll see where she positions herself and who decides, like Tess Rhodes, that it's not a bad place to be going with the pacemaker. Once again, fairly frenetic start here. On the inside, a few of the girls really moving nicely. I think that might be Woods from Melbourne University. It's Rose Ashman, Woods, Phelan, Oakley Kerr, Scott Dalgleish in that order. So big run from Ashman in the all schools, over 3,000 metres. I think a massive PB from her on this track not so long ago. Conditions nowhere near as good that day as they are today. And Rose Ashman from Ballarat YCW deciding she is really going for it. So you can see Charlotte Wilson sitting midfield. Quite a few of the girls deciding, okay, we're going to stick around here because they know exactly what that pace schedule is going to be. So I think Phelan's still sitting there in 3rd position. Oakley Kerr, Scott Dalgleish, I think, next. So I missed the split on 400, but it's relatively quick as they go through a 10-minute pace. All the field was under 10-minute pace as they went through. And remarkably, not one of these have got a seed time under 10 minutes. So you can see how quick they are out front at the moment. So Ashman leading the way. Not a breath of breeze out here trackside whatsoever. This is perfect running conditions for 3,000 metres. So Ashman, Woods, Phelan, Scott Dalgleish. Now we see Wilson starting to move her way through. DaCosta Alves, just ahead of Oakley Kerr. Then Sakana, Anthony, Waters, also up there at the moment, Olivia Beaton from YCW. Great, once again, so many YCW singlets here and crop tops here today at Lakeside. Yes, this evening, thank you, Cookie. So no change out front. What we're seeing behind, though, is the field is starting to come together. So Charlotte Wilson in the white cap, you can just see her edging through. She's next to Sakina now. And they're through the 200-metre mark. Sorry, the 800-metre mark, past the 200. Around the top end, they're approaching the 1K, and that's where we'll get a really good indicator of how they're moving. So coming in for seed time of 10:18.8, that is Rose Ashman leading the way. So 80-second laps, they are a 10-minute pace. 3:20 per K is 10-minute pace. We're going to be well under that. 3:05 on the clock now. So Ashman. Woods looking good. So time check, 3:14, 3:15 for Ashman. Phelan, then Scott Dalgleish. Seeing Waters just following through there. Anthony's got Sakina just to the back of her and Mifsud. Bucky Smith, just back of the field now. Also Ariana Violini. She's got a 10:45 time. No change out front though. So Phelan's still sitting nicely there in third. Scott Dalgleish fourth, so no change there. The young lady from Sandringham, DeCosta Elves, she's sitting alongside now the pacemaker in Wilson. Oakley, Kerr, Waters, Anthony, Sakina, Mifsud. So 3:58 through the 1200. The gap is starting to close now. Phelan, step by step, just starting to bridge that gap as Ashman just starting to take the foot off the pedal and the chasers are starting to come through. So now we're going to see the white cap of Charlotte Wilson doing her job and leading runners through this pack. So Charlotte will just be sticking to pace beautifully. Sarah Waters in the South Melbourne colours to the outside of her with Alexandria Anthony. So remember, there is $100 on the line for this race as well. Charlotte Wilson can't win that. As we see Phelan sitting in third. So Waters alongside Scott Dalgleish. DeCosta Elves to the inside. Also coming through there. Sorry, that was Mifsud in next position off the chase pack. So out front, no change. But we're seeing the pacemaker starting to make her way through. So two of the more experienced runners are side by side there. That's Anthony and also Waters. Oakley Kerr just sitting nicely at the back of that pack. Lara Sakina saw her have a beautiful win here too, over 3,000 metres at the All Schools. So Lara always runs well at Milers Club, and she's running a very smart race there, just sitting in that pack and not doing too much of the work in the early stages. So I'll be coming down to get 3 laps to go. No change out front, but that white cap just edges further and further in, or closer and closer to our leaders and dragging runners with her. So Anthony going wide, Waters to the inside of her, Sakina in the mix with that pack now. This is going to be a pretty interesting last kilometre. So Alexandria Anthony from Glen Huntly now takes the lead. Great pacing once again, Charlotte Wilson, you're an absolute gem. Ashman leads, Anthony, Phelan, Woods, Sakina, then Oakley Kerr, Waters, DeCosta Elves, and then Scott Dalgleish. Next one up would be the Melbourne Uni runner there. I'll try and spot that one. Coming through now, Annabelle Smith. Also Olivia Beaton. Bucky Smith now coming through. And Violini in next position. But out front, no real change. The one to watch here, I reckon, Sakina. She does have a nice kick finish. But boy, there's now 6 or 7 in the mix there, as Oakley Kerr just gets a break on Waters. So will we see a change of lead shortly? I think we might. So Ashman has done a lot of the work. But now we're seeing Lara Sakina. As I said, she really knows how to strategise a race. She's got a very good racing brain. And Sakina just starting to move herself forward. One to watch might be Phelan. I think she's still got a little bit of go in her legs as well. So the young lady from Williamstown. We've also got Anthony on the comeback trail after injury. And Young is the other one who's in the mix here. Michaela Young, haven't called her the whole way through. So there's a lot in the mix here. So Waters just going past DeCosta Elves. Scott Dalgleish just off the back of her. So there's still 6 out front and then 4 chasers. Woods just starting to ease back. Michaela Young looking good too. Those legs just starting to move down that back straight. And it is just the smaller figure though of Sakana. Really looking nice. But big hats off here to Ashman because she really has not dropped off here, even though she's been joined by so many other runners, and Ashman's the one who makes the next move. Anthony also is moving up. A little bit of a gap then to Oakley Kerr, Woods and Waters, and I think that is DeCosta, sorry, Scott Dalgleish in next position. So they'll be coming around to get 1 lap to go. Lara Sakana, so 2 laps out now for Violini. So Sakana just turning the screws. This is a really great race from her, like she did at the All Schools. She just winds it up and just sees what damage she can do to the runners behind her. And Lara Sakana is doing just that again this afternoon, or this evening here at Lakeside. Phelan in second. Anthony next. Anthony had a good win over the 5Ks at the Melbourne Marathon Festival, and she's now here at Lakeside Stadium. But Sakana's now out by 10 metres. Phelan, Anthony, Ashman, Young, Oakley Kerr, then Scott Dalgleish and Waters. Zoe Woods looking good still. She was strong early. Then DeCosta Elves. Big gaps now starting to form in the field, and it is Sakana. Look at this. Another impressive run from Lara Sakana. She took out an encouragement award here last year at Milers Club, and this is why. This girl has got plenty of heart. Nice running though from Anthony. She's kicking on beautifully here, just ahead of Phelan. We're seeing Young, also Oakley Kerr starting to move through, and it is Ashman just starting to tire a little bit, but why not when you've done so much of the work out front, and hopefully still a big time here from Rose Ashman to be rewarded with 10.18 is her best. Bucky Smith now coming through just behind Beaton. And then we see Violini coming through, but it will be Lara Sakana. She's going to take out the $100, the dash for cash. So that's a massive run here once again. Lara Sakana, very impressive runner. She's got a 10:15 seed time, well under the 10-minute mark. Lara Sakana, $100 richer after a very, very smart run. So Lara takes it, 9.50 odd. Ashman over the top, 9.58. Then Anthony, Phelan, Young. A lot of the girls under the 10-minute mark there, so fantastic running. Well done, girls. We see Poppy Scott Dalgleish, Sarah Waters coming through around the 10-11 mark, then Zoe Woods. Very, very brave running, a lot of these girls. DeCosta L, she'll be next through. 10.23 is her best. She's now beaten that here tonight. So lots and lots of PBs, but the dash for cash taken out by Lara Sakana. But Rose Ashman, what a run. So let's get behind our last runners here as we see Annabelle Smith coming through. Also Emily Mifsud, Olivia Beaton in the straight now. So Beaton through. Also Bucky Smith, very impressive B race here. So Bucky Smith through just over the 11-minute mark. And Ariana Violini from Ballarat YCW comes into the straight now. Is our final finisher in the B 3000. Aria Violini through, so that is a very exciting B race in the women's 3000. So the next race up will be the men's B, so a couple of minutes away from start, so we will be starting around 9:13. So let's announce our field. The men's B, 3,000 metres. Sam Albiston from Mentones in 1. Sam Dunnett from Wellington is in station 2. Aidan Velton from Glen Huntly in 3. Nathan Timmins from Box Hill in 4. Michael Kernahan, Mentone 5. In 6, we have from Knox, Matthew Payton. In 7, Eureka's Joshua Johnson. In 8, Marlon Wagner from Melbourne University. From Mentone, Sam Bunnage in 9. Riley Bryce from Old Zavarians in 10. Archie Caldo from Wendouree is in 11. Liam Morgan, Western A's, is in 12. Station 13 has Doncaster's John Portwood in 14. Ben Gibson from Sandringham. To South Melbourne, Musa Janimo Jagular in 15. From Bendigo Uni, Jaden Padgham in 16. Bailey Morrell from Sandringham in 17. And Abdul Aziz Haji Ali from Western A's is in 18. There are 18 starters in the men's B 3000.
On your marks.
So underway in the B race now. So it's a field of 18, and what a good field this is. A few of these guys are probably feeling a bit duped they're not in the A race, but such is the quality here tonight at Lakeside that 8:31's not going to cut it anymore. So nice even start here. I don't think there's any pacemakers, but as we've seen with previous races, that doesn't matter if the guys are prepared to share it and help each other out. So Dunnett looking good early. Also out there, Ben Gibson. Bailey Morrell, his teammate, not too far off the back of him. So the South Melbourne runner there, Janimo Jagular, just sitting at the rear of the field. So seed times range from about 8:32 through to about 8:40, so there's not much separating this entire field as we see as they settle. So Dunnett and Portwood leading out the front there. Aidan Velton also going nicely in the early stages. They go through the 400 in about 65 seconds. That is quick. So around 8-minute schedule at the moment. So they're moving these young men courtesy of Sam Dunnett from the Wellington Club. He's coming in with one of the top seeds at 8:32. This is good to see. They are taking advantage of these absolutely perfect conditions here tonight at Lakeside for Milers Club Meet 1. Let's hope we get something similar at the Zatopek on 2nd of December And we hope to see you all here for a spectacular night of athletics. So Padgham also there. Caldo sitting on the rail. He's got Haji Ali just to the outside of him. Perfect pacing though. No one needs to do anything, and they're not panicking at all because they know that Dunnett set them off beautifully. So Dunnett and Portwood, Belton, Gibson, Padgham, Morrell, Caldo, Haji Ali. Starting to really come together again. Riley Bryce sitting there, 800 in 2:14. So went off the pace a little bit. That was a 69-second lap. Maybe 68. But Dunnett moving beautifully. Portwood happy to sit there on the rail, just following the footsteps of Sam Dunnett. He is one of the faster seeds. Also up there should be Padgham as well, as we're seeing Kernahan taking the wide line down the straight to move up in position. Another good move there also from Morgan Wagner from Melbourne University. He's got an 8:39 to his name. Morgan happy to sit at the back, and that's fine, Liam, because they're so well bunched at the moment. As I said, no one should panic. So through the 1K, 1100 in now. Kernahan's the one who's making the moves. Will Michael Kernahan take the lead? Potentially, yes. Also Gibson making a move forward as well. So 1200 in, 323. Dunnett still leads. Once again, we might need someone else to just push that pace forward a little bit, because lap by lap, it's just going off the boil slightly. So Wagner on the outside. Gibson in front of him. Now we're seeing Janimo Jagular starting to make his moves to the outer lanes. So bunched. Absolutely bunched as they come through, and it is Kernahan who takes the lead. Gibson's going with him with Wagner. Velton on the rails, Morrell just to the outside of him with Padgham on the rail. Caldo still sitting in exactly the same position. Haji Ali to the outside of him, and then we have Bryce. Josh Johnson also positioned nicely, and it is starting to stretch a bit. So Kernahan's injected some pace. Dunnett going with it. Portwood, if anyone's the one slipping back a little bit, and now we're seeing Archie Caldo just move forward slightly. He doesn't want to get too far away from the action out front. So great to see Archie back out racing again. Had another superb year of football, and we're still trying desperately to keep him in this sport. So Kernahan, Dunnett, no change there. Gibson, also prominent all the way through. Now Caldo takes the outer, gets out of the box, and now Archie, I've probably spurred him on a little bit, taking a nice line there. Padgham just battling with Gibson. Haji Ali to the inside, then Morrell. Janimo Jagular just getting into a little bit of trouble there and coming in on the few bodies. So approaching the 2 kilometre mark, Michael Kernahan leads the way. You're going to see a time probably low 540s through the 2K, so they are moving nicely. So 540 now, right on to 540 as they hit the 2K. This is moving nicely, 250 per kilometre. So it's going to set them up for a sub 8:30. I reckon this is going to be a real kick-down race. So Kernahan's doing a great job. Dunnett's so strong. Velton always been up there. Then Padgham, he's tough. Gibson on the rails. Haji Ali. He's now making the move to the outside. Wagner, don't know much about this one, but he's running strongly as we see Gibson just stepping off the track. So 2 out. Haji Ali's making the move now. Caldo in contention. Out front, Abdulaziz, Haji Ali, Aidan Velton going with him. Dunnett still there. He's not budging. Now we see that long legs of Archie Caldo winding up as they approach the 600 out. So a 67-second lap, that one. Let's see what they produce over this next 600 metres as this race is really opening up. Dunnett, very impressive, still sitting in third. But it's Haji Ali leading the way, the Western Athletics runner. This is impressive. To the outside now, I reckon that's Bunnage starting to really move his way through. Haven't called him the whole way, but I think Bunnage is the next of the Mentone runners. Velton, so good here as well. But Haji Ali Morgan, as I said, he sat back early and he's looking good. Caldo just now starting to tile. Wagner starting to move through. Gap then to Riley Bryce, but out front it is Dunnett and Velton. Two of the early leaders. Sam Bunnage going with them though. So it's Velton making the big move, 300 out. Morgan in good position. Now we see Kernahan go again. This is amazing running from Michael Kernahan. Who thought he'd have the zip to just go flying past Liam Morgan, but he does. But out front it is Velton still leading. Can Kernahan hold this for another 200? We'll soon find out. Bunnage looking strong. It's Dunnett still in there. He's been there the whole way, hardly budged. Dunnett takes the lead again. Big move from Sam Dunnett. Kernahan going to the outside, but is he going to run out of steam as Sam Bunnage comes out to the outside as well, and he needs to do that to get in front of Dunnett. But it is Dunnett leading the way, so prominent early, and Sam Dunnett I think is going to take this. Going to be in the 820s. Bryce coming home strong. Riley Bryce. I'll call Dunnett, Bryce, then Bunnage, Kernahan. Next one through was Sam Albiston, then Morgan. Time checks, lots of sub-830s there. Haji Ali, Coldo limping across the line with Morrell. Then we got Tiemans, Johnny Portwood, and rounding out the field will be Janimo Jegula from South Melbourne. So great running there though. Sam Dunnett, how good was that? What a run from Bryce. He was sitting probably 30 metres off the back with 1 lap to go. Nearly stole it. But great running. Dunnett takes it. So some great running there. Hats off also Aidan Velton, always there all the way through. What an exciting men's B race. So let's announce the field. The women's A 3,000 metres, they're on the line and they are about ready to go. Station 1 from Glen Huntly, Kate McDonald. Station 2 from Athletics, Essendon, Anna Kasapis. Bridget Rice from Yarra Rangers in Station 3. In 4 from Box Hill, Stella Radford. Next to her, also from Box Hill in Station 5, Izzy Coffin. In 7 from Glen Huntly, Madison King. In 8 from Collingwood Harriers, Natasha Gertler. Cassie Deege is in Station 9. Nissa Miles from Williamstown in 10, alongside her teammate, Alexandra Schultz in 11. From Box Hill, we have Sophie Hall in 12. Also from Box Hill, Cushy Diol in 13. Imogen Baker from Frankston in 14. Eliza Lapierre from Ballarat YCW in 15. Emma Hogan, Glen Huntly in 16. From St Stephen's, we have Brigitte Humphrey in 17. And Alice Oakley-Kerr, her teammate, in 18 next to her. Then rounding out our 18-woman field in Station 19 from Yarra Rangers, it is Olivia Twining. They're our 18 starters in the women's A 3,000 metres.
Girls, just move up a little bit. You don't need a couple of steps. Yeah, thank you. On your mark.
So nice clean start, split start once again here for our 3,000 metres. Gives all of the runners a great opportunity to get themselves moving. So watch out for Madison King. Might be seeing this young lady lining up as a major contender in the Zatopek Ondieki 3,000 metres coming up on the 2nd of December. A lot of the young ladies here probably looking for positions either in the Ondieki or the open 3,000 metres, as Sophie Hall's the one who starts to move alongside as Charlotte Wilson starts to go out to the front. So King, Wilson's just settling into mid-pack there. I'm not sure what the strategy might be for her. She's alongside Nissa Miles in the pink socks. As Sophie Hall and Madison King, two of the younger competitors in this field. I think Emma Hogan up there early as well. So Hall, she's got a 9.26 to her name, 9.24 for King. They're our lead contenders out front. As they go through the first 400 in approximately 72, or 73 we'll give them. So just over the 9-minute mark. So nice bunch, probably 10, 12 more in that bunch as they start to get a little bit of a move on. And I think Stella Radford is the next one to take up the lead. So Stella comes in as our top seed. Stella has got a time of 9:00:63. So that 72:73, that's not going to frighten Stella Radford. As we see Hogan moving through into that 4th position. Schultz out there. Also got Natasha Gertler. Great run by Gertler in the All Schools as well with Maddie King. So the race starting to really wind itself up now. As you see, our main contenders just pushing forward. So Maddie King deciding she's just going to sit in on the slipstream there of the long striding young lady in Stella Radford. Hall up there nicely. So Gertler's still running well, 2:28. So nice and steady, better 75 for that second lap. That's probably why Stella took over. Pace might have just been slipping a little bit as we approach the 1 kilometre mark. So Radford looking good here. Certainly been a prominent steeplechaser and track racer on the Australian circuit for several years. And Stella Radford showing a very mature race here as she just pushes forward. Time check now, right on 3-minute mark. So Stella takes them through the first kilometre in 3:04. Then it's Hall, King, Hogan. Schultz in next position, then Rice. Next one there, Gertler. So she's stretching that lead now. Hall in next position with King. Impressive run from Hogan. She's on the comeback trail from injury. 2 injuries this year. And great to see Emma Hogan back on track here and looking fairly good going through in that 1,200 metre mark now. But it's Stella Radford now extending out by 15 metres. Sophie Hall in next position. Then King. Impressive from Schultz. Gertler going nicely. As we see Stella coming through to get 4 laps to go. So Radford from Box Hill, her teammate. Sophie Hall second. Schultz, big move from her, just wedging in between Hogan and also King. Then Rice, then Gertler. Cassie Dees coming through in next position. Lapierre, also Diol. Coffin in next position. Then Males. Imogen Baker. Oakley Kerr, Kasapis, Twining, Humphrey. But out front, that gap is only getting bigger. Stella Radford. But then what's of interest, the gap between 2 to 3 also increasing as Sophie Hall really puts on a demonstration here. going through the 1600 right on 5 minutes. So Radford looks like she's going to do it her own way here this evening. Stella Radford in this A race for the women. So she does have a best of 9:00. Not sure what her overall PB is. Sorry, I haven't done my research, but Stella, class act as we know, great steeplechaser. And Stella Radford converts that beautifully to the 3,000 flat as we're seeing tonight. So Radford coming through to get 3 laps to go. She's looking composed. She actually gave me a smile as she went past. So Radford looking good. Hall looking great as well. King composed. Schultz, very impressive with Alex Schultz. Hogan's just got to hang on here. Rice, then Gertler, Diol, Deege. Then we have Coffin. Don't know much about her, but in the Box Hill colours, LaPere, one of the big finds of this year. Nissa Miles in the next position. McDonald next, then Oakley Kerr, Baker, Casarpas, Twining and Humphrey. I think the gap's starting to close a little bit. Sophie Hall is probably looking at a teammate thinking, I'm going to have a go here. So we're through the 2 kilometres, 6:14. 6:14 at 2K there or approximately for Radford. So we're into the last kilometre. Hogan going through at about 6:24. But out front, Stella Radford. She might start to hear footsteps fairly soon as she comes through to see 2 laps to go. Hall definitely gaining. Radford's done so much work out front, but Hall is gaining momentum here as we approach the last 2 laps. So 6:52, 2 out. Gap of 10 metres. Radford, Hall, another 30 metres back to King. Schultz just has to hang on there. Hogan just drifting back. Gertler still running strongly. And it's Diol starting to make her moves through. A well-judged race there from Cushy Diol, our national cross-country champ. Rice in next position. Then Kaufman and LaPere working together. So too, Deege and also Males. But out front, it's down to 5 metres. 600 metres out. 5 metres in it. Make that 2 metres, 1 metre. It is on between the Box Hill teammates here as Sophie Hall draws alongside Stella Radford. Radford kicks though. She doesn't want to give up the inside lane on that bend. Radford goes again. She's going to make Hall hurt here as they come into the home straight. 500 metres out. Hall has to try and lift, but Radford's certainly done that. Hall goes to the outside once again. It's like I'm calling the final lap here, but it's Sophie Hall who takes the lead. 420 metres out. So Hall goes into the front. So Sophie Hall leads it. 8:09 at the bell. Hall. Radford just kicks again. Now it is King coming through next. Schultz has done a great job, but she needs to deliver on this last lap. So Maddie King comes through. 8:20 on the bell. Schultz in next position. Then Diol. Gertler, another big run from her. Then it's Hogan. LaPere, she's strong, she's tough. Rice to the inside of her, and then Coffin, Deege and Males. But out front, she was 15 metres down, now she's 15 metres up. It's Sophie Hall approaching the 200 to go. Big run from her, the impressive young lady from Box Hill, setting world records in her age group end on end through last season. Not to be outdone though is Stella Radford. She's a great performer. She's still hanging on doggedly as we see the gap now between Radford and the King extending out to about 80 metres. So into the last straight, and it is Radford who's picking it up again. Hall's done such a great job. Can she hang on? The 2 Box Hill girls still so strong. It is going to be a great finish here. Hall holding, Radford coming, Hall up, Radford in. It's going to be on. We'll leave it up to the photo. Hall will take it. 9:23 unofficial. Stella in second position, not much in that at all. Great racing from both these young ladies. As you see, Maddie King coming through. She'll take third position. Big run from her. And she'll take our third in 9:38 unofficial. So Diol through nicely. Schultz, big run from Alex Schultz. Then Gertler and Hogan. LaPere. Coffin through next. Then Nissa Miles. Let's get Nissa well under that 10-minute mark. Bridget Rice in next position. Cassie Deege from New South Wales. She'll be under the 10-minute mark. Then Oakley Kerr, Anna Kasarpas coming home strong. Our 40-plusser, big run from Anna. McDonald in next position. Humphrey coming through. Baker and Twining. So fantastic racing out front. Now 2 girls from Box Hill. So let's go to our final event of the evening, race 17 of 17. It's the men A 3,000 metres. Station 1, we have Cameron Gorman. Station 2 from the Box Hill Athletic Club, Nicholas Baggett. Station 3 from Old Scotch, Bart Leeton. Charles Barrett from Athletics Essendon, he's in 4. Harrison Boyd from Bendigo Harriers in 5. In 6 from Western Athletics, Nathan Pearce. In 7 from the Mentone Athletic Club, Dejan Gebra Salesi. In 8, from St Stephen's, Reece Langdon. Station 10 from Western Athletics, Zaid Al-Said. In 11 from Yarra Rangers, Harry Norman. Isaac Bibelay from Box Hill in 12. Stephen Langdon from Melbourne University is in Station 13. Alongside him in 14, it's Cody Shanahan from Western Athletics. Peter Green from Box Hill in 15. Christopher Dale, St Stephen's in 17. In 18 from Western Athletics, it is Liam Cashin, Benjamin Baisha from Old Scotch in 19, and from South Bendigo, Logan Tickle in 20. That is your 18-man field in the men's A 3,000 metres.
On your mark.
So underway now. We just witnessed a very impressive women's A race. What are these men going to dish up to us tonight? And I think they're going to go for it. Similar to the last race, there's lots at stake here. There's positions in both the De Castella 3000 Junior at the Zatopek and also the Open 3000 metres that will be taking place on December 2nd as Matthew Hussey, our pacemaker, leads the way. Shanahan, Cashin, Boyd, Dale in that order. Nicely paced at the moment. Good to see Bart Leeton in this field. Also another one of our top juniors, Logan Tickle, sitting in there. As I said, a lot at stake here for those positions in the big races coming up here in December in a few weeks' time at Lakeside Stadium. So don't forget, you can get your tickets via Athletics Victoria. Let's try and get a big crowd here as we see them going through 62, 63 seconds. So Hussey has got them moving. Now, multiple Victorian mile champion Matthew Hussey out here doing the pacing tonight, and it's 2 of his teammates from Western A's in Shanahan and Cashin in that order. Just behind them, Christopher Dale. He wants a run at the Zatopek, so he's got to perform tonight. Looks like Janetsky was scratching, but he's in the field, and Logan Janetsky sitting nicely behind Boyd there. Also up nicely at the moment, Alexander Angus also was a scratching. It is a 20-man field. Pearce sitting nicely. Langdon just behind him. So they're aiming at 64-second laps here. So let's see if the Huss can get them through at 2:08 at the 800 metre mark. So 64 second laps is the pace, and that's why there's a little bit of damage going on out there already. As we see them now crossing through right on, yep, just maybe a shade ahead of target, but that's okay. We'll give you that, Huss. So Shanahan, Cashin, Dale, they're all running brave. Boyd's included in that, and Janetsky. Little gap back. That could be Gorman filling in the next spot, potentially. Let's have a look as they come down. We saw some big runs at the Box Hill meet on October 17th. Let's see, sorry, that's Harry Norman in next position. Al-Zaid in next. Then we've got Angus, Pearce, Baisha, then Gorman, Langdon. Tickle's just sitting at the back. He's got Bart Leeton is alongside him at the moment. We want to see these kids getting well into the 820s here. And this pace at the moment is going to deliver on that. The Box Hill boys also biding their time. That's Baggett and Green sitting at the rear of the field. I think Langdon also with them. But out front, 64 seconds is what they've been asking for as they go through the 1200 metre mark in 3:11. So they're right on target, just slightly ahead. So Hussey's doing a great job out front. So Hussey leads it. Shanahan, Cashin, Dale, Boyd, Janetsky, Norman. Al-Zaid has joined the happy family out front there. So Nathan Pearce now in no man's land as they come through, 4 laps to go. So Pearce just moving. Now DJ and Gebrselassie starts to get a little bit of a move on as well. It goes past Gorman. So Tickle, Barrett just in front of him, Leeton just behind him. This is what they want to see for that junior race. They want to establish their spots. You know, it's getting to the point now you need an 8:25 to be guaranteed in the D Costello these days. That's what these boys will be chasing here tonight. But out front, race in 2. Cashin is the one who's sitting with the pacemaker. So 4:14, 4:15, Huss has done his job. He's got them through 4 laps. And now it's Liam Cashin out front. 7:57 is the time that Ben Buckingham has got as the Milers Club record. There's $1,000 on the line if Cashin can beat that. So Shanahan in next position, then Dale, Harrison Boyd, Janetsky, Harry Norman, the young superstar from the Yarra Rangers Club. As Cashin comes through to get 3 to go. So Liam Cashin leading by 20 metres over Shanahan. Another 5 metres back to Dale. The sweat is starting to form on the brows here because his pace is hot. Gorman looking good behind Gebrselassie. Now Tickle alongside Baisha. Barrett just behind him with Bibelay. Then Green and Baggett. Leeton in next position and then Langdon. But out front, Cashin extending that lead. He's really on a mission now, Liam Cashin, as we go through the 2 kilometre mark. So Liam's through in 5:19, 5:20. So Cashin really, really moving beautifully here. Al-Zaid's the next big mover. It's a 1-2-3 for Western Afs at the moment. They'll be going crazy in Werribee right now as the boys are really doing a great job out front for their club. So now Al-Zaid, probably the next one to make the move. It looks like Shanahan's just starting to tire a little bit, but Liam Cashin, let's get behind him. This is big running here from Liam. We want to see that 8-minute mark broken here. Liam's done it before, but we want to see how close he can come tonight. But Al-Zaid's the man to watch here. So 2 out for Liam. It's just got to stay strong, stay to pace here. Al-Zaid in next position, then Shanahan, then Norman, Janetsky, Boyd. Dale just hanging on beautifully. Gebrselassie is just towing Gorman through beautifully. Pearce in next position. Now we're seeing the battle of the youngsters. We've got Tickle, Barrett. Also the young man, Angus from Sandringham. It's all starting to happen here. But out front, it's Liam Cashin. He's out by 25, 30 metres over Al-Zaid. Cody Shanahan hanging on beautifully there in 3rd position. Then it's Norman and Janetsky making the moves. Boyd starting to, or trying to hang on beautifully. Dale just hanging on for dear life as Gebrselassie moves beautifully down the back straight. So coming around the water jump, the second last time, Liam Cashin looking good, looking smooth. Let's give him our support as he comes into the home straight for the second last time. So Cashin approaching the bell. So great support from the infield. The Huss is there to cheer him on with Morgan. Come on, Liam, you can do this. We're going through the bell at 6:57. We need a 59 last lap from Cashin. Let's see if Buckingham's record's on the line here. Al-Zaid in next position. Janetsky starting to lift and hunts down Shanahan. Norman going with him. Then Boyd. Big run from Gebra Celesi. Gorman also there, going past Dale. Now it's Green and Barrett. Tickle's got a hold on here, 7:20 at the bell. Leeton in next position. But down the back straight, Liam Cashin moving beautifully. Let's get him, let's see if we can get him well under that 8-minute mark. 7:30. He's really on for this sub-8. Langdon coming through to hit the bell, but around the top bend, he's going past the water jump. Let's get behind Liam Cashin. Come on, let's wheel him over the line here. This last 100's all between him and the sub-8. 7:47, probably going to be a big ask here for Liam. Legs are going out from under him. He gives everything. He's got such a big heart. Time check, 7:57. It's going to be close, but Liam Cashin, what a win. 8:01 unofficial. Great racing. Norman, as I said, the superstar from Yarra Ranges, 8:07 thereabouts. Janetsky in third, Al-Zaid in fourth. Shanahan put it out there. He'll come in for fifth. Then Boyd, Gorman, Gebra Celesi. Let's time check on Barrett, 8:18. Green through an 8:20. 8:22 there for Tickle. He'll love that one. Bibelet just in front of him. Number 8:27 there, approximately for Pearce. Angus through around the 8:30 mark with Bart Leeton. Let's get behind Reece Langdon. So he's coming through. 8:40 thereabouts for Reece. And Steve Langdon, he'll round out the field here. So big racing there. Liam Cashin put it out there. Great pacing by the Huss. Very big racing. Norman coming through for an impressive race. So that's it. Milers Club meet number 1. We will be out 21st of December at Box Hill. That will be the big one. Get your entries in because we might hit capacity as we did close to last year. A big thank you to all of our competitors. Big thanks to the coaches and also the families who have come along to support tonight. Fantastic night here at Lakeside Stadium for our opening meet of the VMC season. So that's a sign off from down here trackside. We look forward to seeing you all again 21st of December. And don't forget, big 5K here next Thursday night. And then we have the Zatopek December. What a big run from him. Look at the clock, 8:46, 47. He's happy. Davies is through. Finished 8:40 on the clock. They're going to be around that 8:50 mark. Josh Bale looks like he's got it. The crowd in Warrnambool will be happy. 8:47 unofficial. Maker easing back through the field, but what a race he's set up for these young men. And Brad Hall's going to take the honours here, just over the 8:30 mark. 8:32 unofficial. Chandler big 10:15 seed time, well under the 10-minute mark. Lara Sakana $100 richer after a very, very smart run. So Lara takes it. He's going to take this. Going to be in the 8:20s. Bryce coming home strong. Riley Bryce. I'll call Dunnett, Bryce, then Bunnage, Curtin, Radford coming, Hall up, Radford in. It's going to be on. We'll leave it up to the photo. Hall will take it. 8:90. He got such a big heart. Time check 7:57. It's going to be close, but Liam Cash, what a